Okay, give me 1 second to... And they should be able to hear you guys now, presumably.
Whew. I don't know. I can't see us yet on the screen. That may just be because my internet, especially with Twitch, does
Well,
it lags.
There's also a stream delay. I just transitioned. So...
Okay, cool.
Give it a second, and then eventually they should be able to hear us.
Yep.
And I apologize for all of the drop frames. My current guess is that it's going to end up being something that we just have to deal with for this stream, and we'll probably have to try and arrange future streams of this to be run by someone other than me with better internet. But hello, everyone, and welcome to the Natch 20 review, a brand new revival of this former program that we're bringing back. A little bit of an explanation of how this format is going to hopefully work going forward. The current goal with the Natch 20 review is for us to try out a bunch of different, primarily RPG systems that we will attempt to go through and run a number of sessions, maybe one, maybe three or four, and get sort of a hang of each of the systems that we're playing with. And the sorry, distracted faintly. And we're starting out with these guys. We'll probably have a variously rotating cast depending on who's available for what game, and variously rotating start times, so don't expect that it'll be something that's heavily announced on the schedule. But we'll obviously have recordings put up with on Twitch and on YouTube if we can manage it. This first one might have some issues, but we'll figure it out because this was a very sort of thrown together first recording. But let's go ahead and introduce our players for this. Is our first game is the Warhammer 40k RPG system Wrath and Glory. I'm William, and I'm going to be the game master for this one shot, probably one shot, maybe two at the most. And we'll go ahead and introduce Mara.
Hi, I'm Mara, and I am playing B, Scavvy Psyker.
And Craig.
Hi, I'm Craig. I'm playing a Adeptus Mechanicus tech priest named Vinificus Voss.
And Andrew.
Hello, I am Andrew, and I'll be playing Sergeant Locan Martin of the Imperial Guard.
And, well, I mean, so, for a little bit of background, for those of you who are unfamiliar, Wrath and Glory is a game set in the Warhammer 40,000 universe, which is a universe that two of my players are somewhat familiar with, and one knows absolutely nothing about.
Woo!
So we're going to take a deep dive into the grim darkness of the 41st millennium, and we might as well go ahead and just dive right into it. We'll probably clean up the format of these games a little bit as we do more, but for right now, we're just going to dive straight into the game. So, each of you are members of an inquisitorial warband who have been gathered together, who have performed a number of jobs together. Each of you has an amount of experience and camaraderie with each other, which is helpful because we're starting out in media res, so to speak. The journey to Enoch was mercifully uneventful. Now you just need to quickly find Adept Parker so that your warband can return to full strength before resuming your current assignment, assisting a rogue trader. You were able to find your way from the assigned landing pad, past the granaries of a massive distribution center, to the sanitarium without complications. The sanitarium of the planet of Enoch of the Saint Deploratus Sanitarium. The medical facility is enormous, spanning multiple buildings, each containing several large wings. The exterior is a beautiful white marble with bright blue veins running through it all engraved with imperial iconography and golden insignias. The standard symbol of the Aquila, which is the double-headed eagle with wings spread, being stamped just about every 20 feet on the wall, typically. You make the obeisance to the Aquila over the entrance before you cross in, obtaining directions from a friendly worker. Inside the grand doorway is an enormous room with arched Gothic ceilings. Light shines down from hundreds of candles, as well as the colored sunlight streaming through the intensely detailed stained glass windows. It's a beautiful sight, and we can go ahead and describe your characters, each of you, if you'd like to go ahead and give a quick description for your fellow party members and for the audience, because we don't have any artwork running this one because I have to put that together somehow. So let's start with Mara.
So B is probably like hanging back a little bit. This is big. It's weird. She is a sickly looking woman, kind of yellowish, like she maybe has jaundice, wearing a giant poncho, like a rain poncho, one of those like waterproofed ones, inside out, sort of clutching her stuff, kind of looking around nervously, probably hanging back by near Veneficus, because they speak the same language and just doesn't know where to go next.
And so it's an easy segue into Veneficus.
Veneficus is, from what you can see of his actual form, fairly slightly built, but most of him is covered by heavily mechanized armor on a slight frame, and that is covered by a frayed and oil-spotted hooded robe, which is divided almost like a jester's motley. Half is yellow, half is red, which are the colors of his forge world. And his face is covered by a mask. One of his eyes has been replaced by it looks a little bit like a telescopic lens. But coming out of the back of his robes are a set of what in the setting are called mechadendrites, but essentially mechanical spider-like arms. And he is moving, for the most part, on those limbs rather than on his actual limbs.
Yep. And then that brings us to the last member of our group, Sergeant Loken.
Dressed in the standard issue flak armor of the Valhallan Ice Warriors, Loken's a tall figure. He's quite muscular underneath the heavy padding that makes up the majority of Guardsman issue protective measures. Much of his head is obscured by the very large toque that he wears, a memento from his homeworld. At his collarbone, you can see a large metal plate covering refractor field circuitry, and about his person you can see a long power sword, a small knife on his belt, and a very large plasma gun on his back. One other thing that Loken has shared with his fellows is the reliquary that he wears on the other side from his knife. It contains a small shard of ice from Valhalla, and that ice has not melted ever.
Probably never will, as long as that reliquary stays intact. All right.
Highly likely.
So, at this point, as you all are sort of gazing at the beauty of this sanitarium, this place of medical work to retrieve your companion, a fellow member of your war band, the Adept Parker, Genevieve Parker. A woman's screams shatter the peacefully haunting chimes of a liturgical hymn, and you suddenly notice an unholy stench. A panicked man sprints towards you, rushing for the door, fleeing from a group of shambling, rotting humanoid figures clad in patient's gowns. And it's at this point that we're going to begin combat for the first time. And the way
Right off the bat.
starting with initiative, and the way that combat initiative works is there's not necessarily an initiative roll system. It's just your guys choose one of the players to go, and then one of the villains goes, and then one of the heroes goes, and then one of the villains goes until you run out of people. In which case, it's just everyone from one side finishes going until everyone's gone.
All right.
Vinificus turns to B and says, "Is this how unaugmented humans present themselves this far from the Sanctum Solum? You'll have to let me know."
I mean, no, not usually.
So, we won't be using the battle map that's on the screen yet, but for those of you, for the players, I'm a little quiet for the viewers. Let me see if I can solve that.
A little bit.
Ah.
You went very robot-y. It was exciting. Thank
You have angered the machine spirit.
Yes.
I always do that, apparently. I have a habit of doing that for some reason.
That's my one joke. I'm going to try not to wear it out.
No, it won't be. Is that your what is it? Objective?
Exactly.
Oh, I didn't decide on my objective.
Oh, you have to. It's one of those things that lets you get like your wrath back. Very exciting.
The Omnissiah has decreed that I not let my humor grow stale.
Oh man, this is going to be great. So,
I know.
Shall I pick one or roll it?
yes.
What do you think?
Either way.
I'm going to choose my objective.
All right.
All right, so
Okay.
the room that you are in is more than 100 meters deep, and there are dozens of exits. And shambling through the room, chasing down fleeing civilians, are a group of 8 of these diseased, rotting-looking humanoids. They look sort of like zombies from your typical zombie apocalypse movie. And there's 8 of them that are shambling through the room, chasing down civilians who are running in terror. So one of you guys gets to go first.
It probably would not be Vinificus. I think his natural impulse would be to observe.
I think this is something that Loken would absolutely jump into straight off the bat.
Do it.
Okay, so Loken's going to pull the plasma gun and yell to the others, "Fire at will, these are not human, destroy them." And I'm going to shoot one of them.
And
As
so
long as... hang on. Let me check...
So to quickly...
let me check the range.
Yep. So to quickly break down the way that a combat round works for an individual character, every character can take one movement, which is you can move up to your speed, basically, and then you can take one basic action and up to 2 simple actions, which are lesser minor things, and then any number of what are defined as free actions, like talking. So for this, in this particular instance, your action would be firing your plasma gun.
Yes.
Which I would say they are within range.
Yeah, it's a 72 meter range. Oh, wait, no, 48, sorry. I was looking at plasma cannon. Don't have one of those.
I would say by the time that initiative is active, I would say that they are definitely within range of your plasma gun.
Cool. I'm going to shoot one of them. So I roll ballistic skill, right?
And the
Okay.
target number, the difficulty is going to be based on the defense of these guys. is, as soon as I can find, is going to be 2.
Okay, so for those playing at home, I have 11 dice to roll here. And I need at least 2 of those
To be
to be 4 or higher.
Yep.
Firing. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Oh, there's a complication.
And a complication on my wrath.
The wrath die, which is sort of the fate die of this system.
I
rolled
love
1,
it.
which means there's a complication.
Which, according to the plan... Oh, no, it was not on supercharge. Everything is fine on that end.
Yeah, you didn't supercharge your plasma gun, so you don't burn yourself.
Not yet.
But the complication is something that is sort of a narrative element with this game, where it can sort of be whatever you or the storyteller decides that it should be that makes sense for the situation. And if you can't think of anything, then I can get an extra resource to use against you called Ruin. But what do you think would be appropriate for your first shot with this plasma gun at the beginning of this fight?
I would say that my eagerness to jump into the fray actually might endanger some of the civilians nearby.
So you think maybe the splash of the plasma blast might accidentally scorch one of the civilians, perhaps?
Yeah, that sounds right.
So, well, let's go ahead and see how much you will just hurt someone. So you only needed 2 to successfully hit, and one of those 6s will generate 2 icons. So you've got that.
Okay.
Just that is enough.
So I can convert 5 of these dice into extra damage?
I believe. Either you can convert all the remainder or just the exalted ones. Let me check real quick because I need to. I am fairly new at this as well, so we're gonna using shifting.
Yeah, that's why we're here, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Absolutely. That's what we're doing.
You can also, if you don't want to shift it into extra damage, you can also put that into glory for our pool later.
Yes.
As I recall, glory is useful.
It
in
is.
several ways.
Okay. So yeah. So you can only shift exalted icons. So you can shift 6s, which means you only need 2 icons to make it, which you've made with just your regular dice. So you could shift all 3 of those 6s into whatever you want, whether it be adding to the glory pool or extra damage for the attack.
The book here says limit of 1 exalted icon per test, so can I move 1 into the glory, our glory pool, and then the rest into damage? Is that how that works?
Adding glory, you can only add 1 glory per test, I believe.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, a single shifted exalted icon. Yeah, so you can shift 1 into glory, which will add glory to the pool for life.
Okay.
And you can shift the other 2 into extra
Cool.
damage.
Ooh.
Okay, so I deal 15 F, so that brings my total to 4 extra damage dice.
Yep.
Is that the button? Yes.
All right. So so weapons in the system deal a flat amount of damage plus often a number of extra damage dice, which are you roll.
Oh shit! That's like 25.
Oh, hang on, because you roll the way it works is you roll those extra damage and add any icons generated to the amount. So it doesn't grow by significant amounts. It grows in small increments. But as he's rolled here, he's got 3 icons generated here. So that's 3 extra damage added on to 15, which makes it 18 total damage, which is a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in the case of this particular group, which is just a mob of these poxwalkers, the blast, their resilience is kind of just garbage. So this blast of coruscating plasma just rips into one of the poxwalkers and detonates, which sends this arc of superheated energy blasting into a second poxwalker, eradicating 2 of the 8. Unfortunately, it also blasts into one of the civilians who was fleeing from one of those poxwalkers and sends them sprawling to the ground in a heap.
Well,
That said,
small circle.
It's in the name of the Emperor. Some might be sacrificed.
It is a small sacrifice, Loken thinks to himself. He does not say that aloud.
1 out of 3.
But on the first turn for the villains, an old man, a panicked old man who is rushing towards the exit, which you are standing at, almost reaches you before he collapses to his knees and just begins to retch and vomit and lets out this moan of utter agony and dies on the spot, and you begin to see his flesh rapidly decay as he stands back up, his body lifeless but rising as small horns begin to jut from his flesh as he transforms into another one of these creatures. I need each of you guys to make me a fear test as you see this transformation happen.
All right,
which
that's...
your difficulty number is going to be 3. A fear test is I believe, a willpower test. Let me check here. It's a resolve test.
Isn't it resolve?
Yeah, it's a resolve.
Resolve. Yep. So that's...
Womp womp.
That's
wait, it's a 3?
Yeah, you
3 or better?
Well, it's 4 up is your icons. You need 3 icons.
Okay.
Yeah, this is not gonna go well. Okay.
All right,
I got nothing. I got a
Nice.
3, a 2, and a 3.
Ooh. Hey, that is 3 for me.
Yes,
yeah, because it's 2. Nice.
The two of you,
6s count double.
The two of you managed to get your revulsion and inner horror in check and focus on the fight. But Veneficus, this is a complete and utterly disgusting display of mutation and heresy, and you find yourself shaking just a bit, and you have your difficulty numbers for any kind of interaction with or attacking these poxwalkers goes up by 1 for the duration of this encounter.
Is there anyone nearby that looks like they are part of the administration?
At the moment, it just seems to be fleeing civilians and these poxwalkers.
Okay, then he looks at the closest camera and just shrieks at it. What sort of hospital are you running here?
Which then brings it back to the next person on your team who wants to go.
Doesn't sound like it's Beneficus. I think B's up.
All right. Okay, I'll go. I am gonna... There's still 7 of them, right?
Because one civilian just turned into 1.
That's a
Right,
lot.
yes. 2 down, 1 up. Yes.
I'm gonna... Let's see. I'm gonna try, and I don't want them to be near. Yeah, there's a lot of them, and they're coming toward us. I don't like this. I'm gonna try and use Terrify for the first time. Let's just gonna enact that at, what was the term for it? Just base level, so bound. Yep.
Here is where we see the first use of psychic powers.
Yes. Let's start out strong. So let me find the description for that one real quick. This
is Terrify.
Not there. Yes, Terrify.
Which is a full action, which means it uses basically your entire...
I can't do anything else.
You do your entire action for the turn.
Yep. So overcomes all enemies within range. The range on that. Ooh, maybe I don't do that because I don't think the range is very far. Sorry. New spells.
New spells.
Yeah, 10 meters. Are they within 10 meters? Or
I would say at this point, they're closing rather rapidly, but not quite within 10 meters.
Okay. I will, in that case, because I'm still like...
By the time your turn comes around next time, they will probably be around that range, but...
Okay. Alright, then I will save that and instead pull out and... that sort of sound comes out. And I will pull out my last pistol and try and hit one of them. It won't be good. Let's try it. I probably miss. Here we go. Ballistic skill.
Nice.
No, that's a hit.
It's pretty good.
In fact,
all right.
That is you can shift that 6. You only need 2 to hit one of them.
Oh, okay. I will shift that to get an extra. Probably just do extra damage.
All right.
So that is. How do I do that again? Let me see. This? Yes. 6.
Nice. So that's 2 extra. So that's 9 damage. So you level the las pistol and just it's sort of snap fire on reflex, but the bolt strikes true and slams into the face of one of these poxwalkers and just drives it down as it melts through the skull, and this creature just collapses. Probably the one that just transformed out of the old man, honestly.
All right, that's my turn.
Which brings it back.
Yeah.
Which brings it back to the enemies, as one of the poxwalkers reaches out at a fleeing civilian and slashes through their back with their claws and sends it sprawling to the ground. And as it lurches past as the civilian dies, you see again this rapid decay as the civilian that it just cut down transforms into another one of these poxwalkers and rises up and starts going forward again.
Ugh.
Which brings us back around to the allies' turn. It's back to Veneficus. You're the last one to go.
Veneficus will reach up if he can reach the ceiling with his servo arm. I don't know how far above us the ceiling is. He said it was domed, so I don't know if there's anything he can reach.
Probably a little bit too far out of your reach, but...
Okay, then he will move as far backwards towards a wall as he can.
Back up to a wall. It's probably immediately behind you.
Okay, and will climb the wall a little bit with his dendrites. And while doing so, with shaking hands but still reverently, will pull out his las pistol and take aim at whichever the closest of these creatures is, and while saying, "Spirit of plasma, enkindle this weapon and cleanse this contagion from the Omnissiah's sight," and will open fire.
And so, because you are afraid, you need 3 to hit this creature rather than 2.
Okay. So I don't do a modifier. I just need 3 of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just increases the difficulty.
Got it. Nope.
Oh, so close. You got 2.
Oh.
Which wouldn't hit normally, but your hands are shaking, and as you fire the las pistol, it just goes faintly wide past one of these poxwalkers and just scorches a burn mark into the dirt.
Yeah.
And then it's again another one of these poxwalkers reaches out and cuts down a civilian who again rises up after it. And it's at this point that you see a group of 4 security officers begin to rush into the room. And each of them carrying las rifles as they rush in from one of the side doors, and there's a woman in sort of more obvious flak armor with sort of an officer's insignia on her shoulder that seems to be leading them, and she immediately shouts, "Focus fire! Bring them down!" And the four of them just kind of level las rifles and immediately open fire, and one of the poxwalkers just goes down under the coruscating barrage, which brings us back to the top. One of you guys gets to go again.
I'm okay to keep going in the same order, if that makes sense to you all.
Sounds good to me.
Yep. I'm just going to do Terrify on mine.
Looking at the book. Apparently I have a way to remove that fear effect with a leadership test.
Yes,
Ooh.
you can attempt to make a leadership test. Let me check the specifics.
That's cool.
Actions in combat effects. When a character encounters fear, the effects of fear may be removed by a leadership test. See leadership on page 165. Let me see if I can get there. So leadership, yes. I love that. I love it. Little bit of a book thing. It tells me to go look at leadership to see about removing things, but then it tells me when I get to leadership, it tells me to go back to fear and terror.
Yeah, some things with this book.
Navigation.
For instance, the metachy-mechadendrites say that I can administer stims and various other things, or stimulants and various other things, which aren't actually defined anywhere in the book. So I assume it's stuff like stims and regular healing, but I'm just guessing.
I suspect that there are stims at somewhere, but I would have to look and find them.
Yeah, there are doses of stim, STIMM.
Yeah.
Which I have to assume is the same thing.
Let me see what I can do here. But I'm going to say go ahead and make a leadership test.
As what type of action?
I would say, let me check here. Interaction attack. I would say it would probably be the standard action to make a leadership test to free someone of fear. Unless I'm trying to see if I can find something that tells me otherwise, but I believe that to do something significant mechanically will typically take a standard action.
Okay, I'm going to do that.
But if you want to, you can take a multi-action, which is to do 2 standard actions at once, but doing so will raise the difficulty numbers for both of them by 2.
You know what? I'm going to try it.
Nice.
I've got 8 dice in leadership. I can do this.
That's really good.
You could try and shoot and help Veneficus feel better.
Yes.
All right.
I'm going to start with the leadership test.
Come on, Logan. Ooh.
That's 5 successes.
I will say that until I can find if there is a difficulty number for removing fear from someone, I would say that it would have been the difficulty number of the initial fear test, which was 3, with up plus 2 to 5, which you just made. So you do successfully, with a word of encouragement, manage to get Veneficus to calm down and focus.
Over the roar of his plasma gun, Lucan is just yelling, "Come on, Voss, you can do better than this!" And ballistic skill. Firing at a poxwalker.
That's 4,
1,
5
2,
successes.
3.
Nice.
And I'm gonna.
I don't think you'll be able to shift any of those because the only one you can shift is Exalted, and if you shifted that, you'd only have 3, which you need 4 for.
Oh yeah, I need 4 to hit. Okay, can't shift anything. So straight damage. 15.
15. You're firing a plasma gun at not very armored creatures. It still blasts into one of the poxwalkers and just eradicates it.
Nice.
Keep firing.
Which
And that's my turn.
brings it back to the Poxwalkers, who, from keeping track right, there are exactly 7 of them still.
I know they keep regenerating. That's the problem.
At this point, they've run out of civilians and have reached you guys, though. Which means one of them is going to try and attack you. Which means, as I pull this up, see their weapon. Okay, so they're gonna make. So what is your defense, Loken?
My defense is 4.
All right, so one of the Poxwalkers shambles towards you and reaches out to claw at you, but you just sort of dash out of the way and stick the plasma gun in its face and force it back, as it only manages to make two successes to try and hit you.
Nice.
Shove.
Good.
Which then brings it back to one of you guys' turn.
Yeah, I'd like to go. And do the fear or the terrify now. Which I believe gets everything within range.
Yep. Every enemy within range.
Yep. Okay, so I can't move, but I stand there and emit terror. Or I try to. That's a 5. Okay. All right. Need a 5. I've got 10 dice. 1, 2, 3, 4.
So close.
Oh.
But you didn't peril because you didn't have a complication die.
I did not.
Can you... I think you might be able to spend glory to add a dice.
Check uses of glory.
Glory, or I can use one of my wrath die if I want to use it at this point.
Oh yeah, spend 1 wrath to reroll failures once on a test.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I might do that instead of risking, because glory just gets me to a full reroll, right?
Oh, the glory can add a die to a test after any rerolls.
Okay.
Whereas wrath can let you reroll all your failures.
Yeah, I'm gonna spend wrath then, because that's got a better chance of getting me that 1 success I need.
You can reroll 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can reroll 6 dice.
Okay, so I'm just gonna roll 6. I think that'll probably be easiest. So 6d6. Hey!
Yeah, there's some
Nice!
so you got the extra 1 you needed, and then you've got 2 exalted icons if you want to shift them for anything.
Okay, I will give me a sec. I have 1 wrath. Okay. Then
And glory is a pooled resource between all of you, but each of you individually have 2 wrath points.
Yep. I'm seeing what that spell has as far as anything potency. Yeah. Wrong button. Where is it? There it is.
So telepathy has 3 potential potencies. You can spend 2 exalted icons to increase the difficulty of the fear test. You can spend 2 to reduce the activation time to just an action. Or you can spend 1 to give it an extra 10 meters of range. And you can spend for multiple things, with the exception as long as it's something that can be done multiple times. Obviously, you can't do the reduce activation time to an action multiple times because it has a set thing.
Yep. Yeah. I'm gonna add 1 to our shift to add 1 to our glory, and then do 1 for the plus 10 meters range. Then, because having a bigger range seems lots.
All right, so you got that's good. Your glory pool's at 2 now.
Yep.
And and just even further. So as you just kind of like put your last pistol down for a second and press a hand to the side of your head and just glare out at this group as you force this mental force of fear out towards them. Each of these enemies needs to make a fear test with difficulty 5. Which, let me tell you what these guys' result is like.
It's probably not good.
Hang on. I'm gonna let you guys see what this looks like.
Okay.
See that? That's their result test.
Whoops.
For those playing at home, they get 1d6 to roll.
Oh god, that's terrible. There is literally no way they could make that then. With 1d6?
That said, they are actually a mindless mob, which you were not aware of. But because they are mindless, you reach out to touch their mind, and there's nothing there.
Oh god.
They automatically pass our resolve test because they're mindless.
Damn it!
Oh no! Oh, dinger.
That was something I just had to read too. I was like, oh no, whoops.
Oh well, thanks. It was fun anyway.
That's my bad.
That's alright.
Unfortunate. But that brings it back to their turn. As one of them reaches out and attempts to claw at the Psyker. What is your defense?
My defense is 3. Yeah.
They hit you.
Yep.
But they have a complication.
Okay. That's good.
Which gives you guys a glory when the enemy has a complication.
All right.
Sweet.
I have 3 now.
Glory is a shared pool, right?
Yes, glory is shared.
Yes.
Yep. You can use it.
Let me quickly make sure that I know what this keyword is on their attack.
Okay, I don't take any damage from my casting. No. I don't. Okay. That's only if I start doing other things.
Lighting.
Let me make sure that I know exactly what the toxic keyword does.
That sounds bad.
Yes, it does. I'm already acidic.
Wait, wouldn't they just cancel each other out?
Only if it's a base. And then we'd get like that one of those like science fair volcanoes.
Found it.
Where'd you find it? If you could let me know.
Page 277 in the PDF.
277. Thank you. There we go. So toxic. Some weapons incorporate a mechanism delivering a poison, infectious agent, or other compound that gradually incapacitates or kills its target. A character who is wounded by the toxic trait becomes poisoned. A character must make a toughness test, DNX, at the end of each round. If they succeed or are treated with a Medicaid test at DNX -2, the effect ends. If they fail, they suffer X wounds.
Okay.
And it's toxic 3. So first, let's see if it can even deal any damage to you. What is your resilience?
Resilience is 5.
Okay, so they can deal some damage to you because the base damage on their attack is 7, and they get 1 extra die of damage. So let's see.
All right.
4. So they deal 8 damage to you, reduced by your resilience, so reduced by 5. So that's 3 damage.
So 3.
That's 3 wounds coming at you.
Okay. 3 wounds. I am going to attempt to soak some of those.
Which costs a glory.
No, it does not. It is
I think that's just a thing you can do.
Yeah. So I suffer 1 shock, so I go down.
I have to spend a ruin to let NPCs soak.
Yep. So that's 9 out of 10 for me.
So you immediately suffer a shock, and then you can make a
roll.
Toughness roll.
Soak roll.
Yeah, soak roll, which is a specific thing. Where's my soak? There it is. 4.
Yeah, which is it is a
see how that
toughness
goes.
roll, but can be modified by other things that like equipment that can add to it.
Yep. Okay. So here goes. Hey, I soaked 2 of those. Woo! So it was
3.
3?
So you take 2 shock and 1 wound.
2 shock and 1 wound. So I'm at 7 and 1 out of 7, or 6 out of 7.
You are afflicted with the toxicity of their claws.
Okay, I'm poisoned.
Page 231 has the poison status and what that does to you.
Okay.
Which then
All right.
brings it back around to you guys.
Yes.
Which I believe it's Beneficus.
Oh wait, they still. I don't think they. Oh wait, yeah, you said they already did the roll to resist the fear.
Yeah,
so they are feared.
They are mindless.
Oh, that's right. Never mind. I'm good.
How do we cleanse poison?
You can attempt a Medicaid test.
Okay.
And you have the Medicaid mechadendrites, so...
Yeah. I think Beneficus pushes away from the wall with a snarl at Locan and says, "I don't require your encouragement, Locan," in clear denial of the actual factual basis of what's been going on. And scuttles forward with the more slender syringe-tipped mechadendrites whipping forward towards B. And I'm going to try a medical roll.
And your Medicaid test has a target number of 1 because curing toxicity is just the DN of the toxic minus 2, and it's toxic 3.
That's good.
So.
That's good.
You know what? I have 11 dice in that. I think I'm going to try 2 different rolls then.
Right. So your difficulty
I'm
number
going to try 2
3
actions.
for that, and what else would you want to do?
Am I in range to hit anything with an axe?
I would say, yeah, well, the one who just clawed B, you could probably hit with the omniscient axe.
Yep.
Okay, you know what I'm going to do? I will use the Medicaid mechadendrites on B. Meanwhile, the servo arm is going to come out and grab that one and try to clamp it and throw it away.
All right.
Yes.
Nice.
Yes.
Do Medicaid? Well, okay.
So
complication.
yes, but there's a complication.
We're racking up glory here.
So you got 2 icons. You got 2 exalted icons to shift however you want. But you've also got a complication to figure out.
Yeah, and I'm wondering on a Medicaid roll against something like toxin. You're not injured, right? You just have the
I am injured.
Okay.
They are also injured. So the things that you can typically do is shifting. Typically. You can either gain information, improve the quality of what you're doing, or improve the speed of what you're doing.
Okay. Can I improve the quality to heal a wound?
Sure, I'll say that you can shift an icon to also heal a wound.
Okay.
Nice.
Maybe the appropriate way to have done that would have been to try to heal the wound and then shift to also clear the toxin.
Maybe.
But we'll try that next time.
6 of one, half a dozen of the other.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah. To be fair, the zombie toxin is a little more
very
pressing.
painful. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. I can probably stitch you up afterwards. I don't think I can de-zombify you.
Yeah.
Okay. And then we're going to try the weapon skill?
Sure.
All right. Not as good with that. Although...
2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, you hit.
Okay.
Nice. I'm trying to keep track of how much glory we have right now.
We had 2 before.
Okay.
So do we have 3 now? 1 shifted from the Medicaid.
Yeah, if we can shift one to glory from that, yeah.
Okay.
All right, cool. So we're at 3 out of 6.
Glory pool is currently at 3, and your maximum is 6. Yes.
Sweet. I will keep track of that.
So yes, the servo arm just reaches out and smacks into one of the poxwalkers and crushes its skull. with the 8 damage. So that's another one down.
Okay. Is anything on... I was actually looking at that, and I assume it's not, but there isn't anything directly strength-based to melee damage in this system, right?
Actually, there is.
Yes.
Melee attacks,
melee damage actually adds your strength as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just your strength number is just straight added to a melee attack, to the damage value.
Yeah.
So if the server on base damage is 6, it should be 6 plus your strength.
Which is, thanks to the servo arm, 8.
Nice.
I did not know that. I'm changing my melee damage details.
Okay. So I need to fix that. Well, okay, it's servo arm plus something else weird about me. But yeah, it's the power armor. It adds 1 to my strength as well.
Nice.
So the way it should read then would be, I guess, 11 damage plus 2 extra dice. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, I am fixing that, and also for my axe.
Or whatever the base damage is plus your strength value.
Oh, okay, then it would be 14.
Yeah. Add the character's strength attribute to the melee weapon's damage value to determine the attack's base damage.
Got it. Mm-hmm. I missed that, so thank you for the clarification.
Yep. The only thing that it doesn't work on is if you're using a ranged weapon in melee.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And also,
so yes.
if you are engaged with someone, which is to say you are within range of one of their melee weapons, you can't use any range. You can only make melee attacks.
Unless you have
unless it's like a pistol.
Unless you have a pistol. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
That makes sense. A pistol.
All right.
Because I looked that up specifically.
Yeah.
So that guy just got the clamps.
What's the complication?
So what do you want? What do you think the complication should be?
For the Medicaid roll, feel a little bad making that call for B's character.
I mean, it doesn't have to be.
I did heal one wound, right?
Yeah, you did. You did heal a wound.
Yep.
What about maybe the mechadendrites are clogged, and they need to be fixed before I can dispense any additional.
So a jam. Yeah.
Yeah.
That works. So it'll be you'll have to take an action to do a tech test, and the difficulty number will be 2 to repair the mechadendrites.
Okay. All right.
Sweet.
And that would be my turn.
All right. So then that brings it to Poxwalkers again. One of the Poxwalkers is going to attack Loken. Your defense, you said, is 4.
Correct.
Oh, did I kill that one?
Yes, you did.
With the additional damage? Okay.
Yes,
very much so.
Okay.
That is only... Oh, wait. That is exactly 4. So the second Poxwalker will make contact. What is your resilience?
My resilience is... Now it's base resilience plus armor value, right?
Yes.
6.
6. Okay. So they can only deal 1 damage base if they get two icons. So 3. That is 3 wounds coming at you.
Okay, gonna try to soak that.
Yep.
So I take 1 shock, then make a soak roll.
Yep. Then make a soak roll.
Okay. Bam.
Bam! You soak all of it. So that instead of taking 3 wounds, you take 4 shock.
Okay, my shock goes to 4.
Ooh.
Don't think I could take another one of those.
I believe you only get toxic if you take a wound. Let me check.
A character who is wounded by a weapon with a toxic trait
you have to be
becomes
wounded,
poisoned.
So you don't suffer
Nice.
the toxic effect.
That's good, because our medic is his syringe is out of commission.
Which then brings it back to the. So you're currently at 6 Poxwalkers. which brings it back to the guard, the security guards, who level fire and blast through, and brings it down to 5. Which then brings it back to you guys.
Same turn order as before, or
It's up to you. You can shift
actually,
every round.
I'd like to try and take out a couple of them.
Yeah.
I don't think there are. Yeah, there aren't any near either of you, are there? So if you get one of them off me, I can take out the other with my sword.
Yeah, I will try. Let's see
There are
here.
currently 2 surrounding. There are currently 2 swarming on to Loken, but the other 3 are still shambling in.
Okay. Give me 1 sec to figure out which one I want to do. I think, and they didn't seem to take. They didn't take psychic damage though, so it was
the
psychic.
Terrify doesn't deal any damage.
Okay, gotcha. Would I know if things that do damage with the tag psychic, with the keyword psychic, would those still affect this thing or not?
Probably.
Probably.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna hedge my bets and try and do a flashbang to sort of stun some of them. Because that seems good. Let's see. That's everyone within range. Okay. I'm not going to get the one off of you because I don't want to hit you with this.
Okay.
The range on that is something or other, 5 meters.
But you can plant that basically in the middle of the group that's approaching.
Yeah. Yep. So yeah, I want to kind of plan it so I'm not hitting any of my allies. Hopefully, and that is going to be a DN4 test. Here we go. Let's do this. Hey.
Nice.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I can shift that one to. Let's see. I don't want to increase the range because that would probably hit people. I'm gonna cause the one. I'm gonna shift that one to add to the potency for an additional +1 shock. They have to make a toughness test, DN3.
All right.
Or take 1 shock, which would be 2 for this, and be blinded for 1 round.
All right.
Because blindness seems useful. These seems
What's their toughness?
hopefully don't hear well.
Imagine if you rolled a 1. They go by smell. Just the perfect counter to everything you have. This is rude.
The mob fails, which means they all take 2. They take 2 shock, and are blinded.
Yeah,
Nice.
As this like burst of pop, like a firework has gone off.
As the psyker of your group just kind of thrusts her hands out, and this like small ball of white energy just detonates in their view, and all the poxwalkers kind of rear back, which brings it to their turn, and now they are suffering from the blindness trait, which I need to blinded combat effects. This is useful.
Yep.
4D for all site-related tasks, which I believe is going to also include attacking. Yep, including all combat tests.
Yep.
So one of them is going to blindly try and slash at the psyker that is blinded it. It's going to shamble towards you and try and slash at you.
That was only an action.
Oh, yeah.
I do have a move.
Yeah.
With the one near me being blinded, can I get away?
Yeah.
I want to get back from it.
Yeah, you can just walk away from it.
Scuttle back. Yeah, scuttle back and like sideways.
Yep.
Doing the zigzag.
One of the
Serpentine.
one of the blinded ones is going to try and find the nearest thing that it thinks it can attack, which will probably be Loken. But let me tell you, their difficulty number is up by 4, and they have
So they need 8 to hit
5
me.
dice, and they have to try and get 8.
Yep.
They need 3 6s.
Nope. You shambles
Yep.
forward and this
Swing and a
blindly
miss.
claws at you and just kind of hits nothing but air, which brings it back
Yes.
to you guys. So who's up?
Probably Loken.
Sure. So,
Pull out your power.
let me just double check. Yeah, just double checking the. Where's it gone?
I just figure Loken has one right up in his face.
I've got 2 in my face right now.
Yeah.
And 1 that's just hanging around.
Well, technically, yeah,
Up
now
to
you
2
got
simple
3.
actions. That's cool. So, stowing the plasma gun, pulling out the power sword, and Loken just yells, "Get off me, you bastard!"
Which
And
also, you can take a multi-attack if you want to try and hit more than one target.
DN becomes 5. I got weapon skill 9. Sure.
Well, it goes up by 2.
Take that risk.
We've got glory in the bank. Let's spend it.
I need 3 to hit them, right?
2. Their defense is 2.
2 to hit them. Okay, so it becomes 4 out of 9 potential rolls. Sure, I'll take a multi-attack. Swing 1.
And technically, you can nice. Yep.
Nice.
5 hits.
Yep. So yeah, that's
Power sword.
So yeah, you can.
So power sword
connect-
with the adjusted damage now.
You connect to both of them. And minus
Fine.
3 to their armor, so that if they wore any armor to try and resist that, it's even lower. Which unfortunately they don't, but
Yeah. Oh my main weapons both have AP minus 3.
their toughness, their resilience is only 5, which means you drive the power sword through 2 of them and just cleave through their torsos as they fall back and just collapse.
The Emperor protects ya, hosers.
Love that he's Canadian Valhallan.
It's wonderful.
So
Unfortunately for me, I can't do a Canadian accent without it sounding Scottish.
which brings it back to the Poxwalkers. You just killed 2 more of them, so now there are 3 left. One of the blinded ones is gonna try and attack, and I think the only one that's making enough noise to really be a target is still Loken.
That's fine.
He's shouting.
They can try and make 8 successes with 5 dice, but they're not going to.
No.
Which brings it back to you guys, Beneficus.
What's the time interval on fixing my dendrites?
It just takes an action.
Oh, okay. So I could try to do it now?
Yeah, you can try and do it.
Okay. All right.
Make a technical difficulty 2.
Sure. All right. Well, then he is going to. I'm going to do 2 actions. I'm going to try to fix that, and then I will also, I guess, take a shot with the last pistol because I don't want to get into melee range.
All right. So it'll be difficulty 4 to fix your dendrites and difficulty 4 to hit the target.
Yep. All right. Machine spirits, I invoke the right of percussive maintenance. He just starts banging
Wonderful.
syringe. Okay.
You fix the dendrites.
Okay. And then he will turn and take
This game,
a
hitting it
shot.
really fixes it.
He turns around and goes, "Hey!" Which is, boy, nope. I'm not going to do any more Fonzieisms with Voss's voice.
But unfortunately, not able to hit.
Yeah.
Because
Well, that's
trying to do 2 things at once, unfortunately.
Yep.
While
No worries.
trying to fix the mechadendrites, you sort of bring the pistol up and fire over your shoulder. But unfortunately, as cool as it looks trying to do that, it's not actually accurate, and it just goes wide.
But you look cool.
To one of the Poxwalkers, which tries to attack the one tries to attack the tech priest. What's your defense?
It is 3.
Which means he has to make a 7. No.
Defense is what? It's toughness -1, right?
I think it's agility -1.
Agility -1. Okay, that makes sense.
Or it might just be your
One of
agility. Let me check. Yeah, I think it's agility -1 is your basic.
I'm sure that's right.
defense.
Initiative -1.
Initiative -1.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
That makes sense. And then okay, and that brings it to the guards, which blast down the last poxwalker that was about to move before it gets a chance to.
Yes.
Which then brings it back to the top. Who wants to do something?
How many of them are left?
There are 2 left.
I think there's
2.
and they're both on me, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, no. There's one on me and
There's
one
on you
somewhere.
and one that just attempted to attack Beneficus.
Why don't you go?
Sure, I can take out the last one on me. Single attack with weapon skill. Okay, that's
Nice.
3 6s.
Yeah, that'll do.
Sheesh.
You only need to
We're
do
I'm
rolling
gonna
it.
I'm going to put one of those into glory, so we've got 4 now,
All right.
and then I'm going to put the rest into damage. So that puts me at that many, I believe.
10, 11, 12 damage as you just drive the power sword through one of the poxwalkers and force it away from you. It just kind of scatters across the ground. Which then brings it to the last poxwalker who gets to try and do something. I believe flashbang only lasts for a round.
I believe so. I can double check real quick. Let's see. Yep, 1 round.
Okay, so they're not blinded anymore.
Yep.
As they try and attack Beneficus, who is directly in front of them. Only getting 1 success, and thus not being able to hit the tech priest, even when they can see.
It's made of metal. Do you want to do the honors, Beneficus?
Sure. Yeah. Why don't we say that, as Beneficus is still trying to reorganize his mechadendrites.
Do you want to bring the Omniscion axe to bear?
Oh no, I think did I mishear you? I thought you said
I said
you were asking if
they said, do you want to do the honors?
Oh yeah. Okay, absolutely. Yeah, then he will bring out the Omniscion axe and say, "Spirits of Cog and Blade, guide this edge true," and we'll swing.
And for those unfamiliar, the Omniscion axe is basically it's combination tool and weapon. It's basically a giant pole axe that has the axe head is sort of shaped like a cog, and then the very tip of it is sort of an interface jack.
Nice.
So yeah, and it's just like a USB. You try it the first time, it doesn't go in. You try it the second time, still doesn't go in.
Oh.
Try it third, and
That's a hit.
it's the magic state. All right. And can I shift that one to damage?
I don't think you can shift anything because you need at least 2 to hit.
Oh yeah, it has to be extra, right? Okay. Okay. All right.
We do have glories to spend, though. If you want.
I think that'll probably be okay. But I'm not going to spend glory on it. It's the last one.
Oh no, you crush
Yeah.
it.
Oh yeah.
You just bring the axe down. on
Oh,
its
that
head.
damage
I
roll.
forget that you two with your damage rolls are always ridiculous. Very high. Mine are not.
I have my beefy Dr. Octopus arms.
Yep.
That is what happens when you give a guardsman a plasma gun. It's a dubious honor to be carrying it, but it's damn good.
So as you crush down the last of these poxwalkers, things faintly begin to clear up.
And I satisfied my objective because I fixed something.
Nice.
Yeah.
When you satisfy an objective, you can get wrath back if you spent it. I think. I don't think it can go above your maximum.
I think that's probably right.
But
I'll just fix something again later.
there you go.
Sorry, William, I interrupted you.
And so the after the last of the poxwalkers falls, the commander of these security guards kind of puts her hand up. Ceasefire! Weapons down! And her and her guards kind of lower their las rifles. She
Oh, is this what we're all doing now? I lower mine.
She kind of approaches the group of you with her weapon in her hands but lowered.
Logan stows the sword.
She walks over to the group of you. Well, that was a right fine mess. Glad you all were here to offer some help. My name is Sergeant Grisvina, and I would like to know what the feth happened here. If any of you could shed some light.
Can't claim to know that, man. We just got here. Sorry,
They just ran at us. Does she have anything shiny or interesting on her?
Mostly just wearing standard issue armor and has a las rifle.
Okay.
Vox bead in her ear.
All right. What's a Vox speed?
It's Vox is the radio of the system.
Okay.
So it's a comm bead.
Okay.
Veneficus will scuttle forward a little bit and say, Sergeant, we are here to collect our compatriot, Adept Genevieve Parker. We are unaware that you had abominations in this sanitarium, or we would have come.
Yes, so was I. So would anyone like to tell me where? First off, if you could answer a few questions, I need to see if I can figure out what the feth is going on here. What in the throne? All right. First, when did you see these things?
Just now.
They came. Where did they come from?
Was it a different door than
They came from further in the facility. Definitely not from where the guards came from.
Okay. From that direction.
All right. How many of them were there? You see anything unusual?
They started out with 8, but quickly transformed some of the civilians.
Feck. All right. Damn it. All right. I've got to try and get this contained. I'm sorry. I wish I could help you out with your search, but I've got to try and figure out what the feth is going on with these creatures and try and deal with these things.
Can we roll an investigation, or if that's the appropriate skill, to try to find out what they are?
I'm
picturing Veneficus has sort of lost interest in this conversation and is now idly picking at the claws with the mechadendrites.
I would say, from what standpoint are you trying to figure out what they are?
think his. I mean, I guess it wouldn't be investigation. Just if he already knows what they are. I mean, out of character, you call them poxwalkers, but I don't think we even know if our characters would recognize them as such.
Perhaps not, but I would say make a Medicae test.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. These are definitely. I mean, you immediately see the taint of chaos in these.
Mm-hmm.
This is definitely a creation of the ruinous powers, and if you had to make an association, you would say the plague god Nurgle.
Good old Papa.
But beyond that, they seem to be some form of plague-bearing mutation creature. It's difficult to say exactly what they are, per se. But...
all right, then Beneficus will share that information and say, given that there is a taint of chaos in your facility, I would be very careful about exploring the rest. I would surprise me if these were the only ones infected. Furthermore, I would take great caution in disposing of the bodies. We do not know if the contagion would aerosolize if they were burnt or otherwise subjected to a form where they might infest your ventilation systems.
Upon the mention of the word chaos, Loken immediately makes the sign of the Aquila over his chest.
As do most of the security guards, except for the sergeant, who kind of looks over over her shoulder, one of the other guards. Find a flamer and find somewhere to quarantine these bodies before you burn them. And then she looks back over at the group. Would one of you like to make me a persuasion test, just to see how well you can sort of... Just to see how well this initial conversation is going so far.
All of us, or
just one of
you? Don't want me doing that.
Okay.
I have 8 dice in persuasion. I can do this.
I got 2.
I have actually 3 somehow. I don't know how the...
Okay, so that's 5 successes overall.
Nice. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm not going to shift anything.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, she kind of looks back at the group of you and just kind of sighs. Well, it's a good thing you showed up when you did. I'll have my men start looking into locking this place down and seeing what we can find. If there's anything I can help you with, I can try and answer a few questions if you need it.
Location of Adept Parker would be most helpful.
Yeah, that. Sort of like...
Yeah.
Sort of like a directory, sort of...
Perhaps a map of the facility?
So Rolodex.
From what I understand, Adept Parker, I think most of the she kind of looks around at the civilians that are still alive, having survived the Poxwalker attack. I think, from what I recall, Adept Parker might be among the others that are quarantined in the exotic diseases ward.
A quarantine. Is that perhaps down this direction? And he'll point down the hallway that the Poxwalkers came down.
There's a lot of places in that direction, but yeah, it's generally that end of the facility.
Do we know anything about Parker's condition?
Yeah.
You know that she was here because of an injury. She was here for an injury that she sustained in the line of duty, which was why she was brought here initially.
And does it just a basic injury or something like what I had that would kind of cause her to be quarantined?
She took a hit in a fight.
Okay.
And it was a bad enough hit to warrant Medicaid attention.
Okay. That's a little strange.
Interesting that she would be confined to the exotic diseases ward.
Which
Do you have access to anything relevant to her condition?
I think you'd want to talk to the chirurgeon of the ward, Willem Koenig. He's the one who's in charge of that ward and overseeing most of the exotic diseases patients.
Sounds like our best protocol.
All right.
I concur.
I can have one of my men escort you to the exotic diseases ward if you want.
Please do.
Sure.
We would welcome the assistance.
It's good.
All right.
I try my best to look healthy as we go in.
Is anybody still wounded?
No.
Okay. Is B sort of obviously trying to make herself look better?
Yes. Just sort of like.
I think Voss will extend a mechadendrite in her direction and say, "Would you like a shot of stims?"
Have you done this before? Probably.
Many, many times.
Sure.
Okay.
Go for it.
I looked up stims. They remove shock, so I don't know that it has a mechanical effect.
That is good.
Yeah.
He gives you a shot, and
No, that's good. If it removes shock, I'm down shock.
oh, you are down shock. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, 7 to 10.
Oh, great.
Same.
7 out of 10. So,
Oh, okay. Well,
how many does it remove?
I can give both of you a shot of stims.
Sweet. So we get amped up.
That's right. As he is administering the shot, in further response to your question, he says, "Usually on mostly mechanical servitors, but the concept is the same."
That's wonderful.
Let's see.
So yeah, roll me
What?
roll me a Medicaid test, and if you get at least one success, then it will restore 1d3 plus 6 shock.
6.
And if you fail, it'll just restore 1d3 plus 3.
All right. So I'll do 2 of them.
Nice.
And Locan.
Yep.
Okay.
That's good.
And if you want to
All
use
right,
any
so-
of those 6s, you only need 1 success to...
Yeah. I will. Can I shift 1 from each roll into the Gloria pool?
Yeah, absolutely. Because you made two separate rolls.
Right,
Alright,
we're
that
up to full. So
Yep,
You're-
that
it's
maxes us
time,
out.
Time to start spending them.
it's time to spend it.
Sorry, what was the
8.
dice roll we needed? D3 plus 6?
D3, well, 1d3
Yeah.
plus 6.
Yeah, but at the minimum, I'm back up to full. So
Yep,
8. I
same.
rolled 8 for each of you. So
Oh, well then.
So both of you recover 8 strain, or 8 shock.
ooh,
Cool. I just realized that my shock is actually supposed to be 10.
you are very useful. Can I
Thank you.
possibly,
That is greatest praise.
if you ever lose one of those, could I just have it? Do you shed them?
Beneficus sort of looks both ways and leans in close and says, "Absolutely not." And then continues.
So you are led to the exotic diseases ward.
I'm sorry. I've played very nice characters the last 2 times.
Oh no, this is
Final fight.
great.
I want to play
I
some.
play terrible characters.
In spite of
This
its
is my objective is verbally estimate the potential value of an item or person as if it were your possession.
Oh, that's great. I love it.
In spite of its foreboding name, the exotic diseases ward is little different from any other sanitarium ward. Patients are briefly bathed in a cleansing mist upon entering or leaving the floor through the lifts, but there are no other obvious signs of quarantine or contagion prevention. The lights are dim, with underpowered lamps illuminating the corridor. Doorways on each side of the hall lead to rooms each occupied by 2 patients. There are a total of 25 rooms, plus a caregiver station. The sound of chanting coming from all the rooms is drowning out the solemn hymns playing through the hospital's loudspeakers. Every patient is rattling off a seemingly endless stream of numbers in a dull monotone. There is no immediately obvious sequence to the There is no immediately obvious sequence to the numbers, and no 2 patients are reciting the same series, but everywhere you look, you just see patients laying on hospital beds just staring at the ceiling reciting numbers.
Yep. So as we go through the little shower at the beginning, be sort of like a cat getting it.
Hello, friend.
There we go. Good timing. Beautiful. And you can hear sort of like a fizzling sound because water and acid don't mix.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
As Bee's ever so faintly acidic skin just kind of sizzles under the water.
What would I roll to see? Would it be Medicaid again, just to see if this is anything I'm familiar with?
Sure, yeah. You're a little familiar with Bee's condition as it stands. It's just...
Oh, no. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean Bee's condition. I meant the chanting of numbers.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
I don't know how difficult it was, but I got...
Let's see. You're not familiar with the number chanting, but what you can tell is that aside from the non-responsive nature from just looking at them, most of the patients seem to be in good health, aside from being non-responsive and just chanting numbers.
He's definitely grabbing everyone's chart as he walks past the room.
No regard for HIPAA.
No.
I imagine Beneficus isn't even looking at the patients. He's just got tendrils and reaching out and grabbing them all.
Yeah, I think that's almost certainly correct.
Just like, yeah, put it back. As we go.
And as you walk, you begin to hear a familiar voice as each of you begin to pick out Adept Genevieve's voice. As you reach her room, you can see that she is also lying in a bed with her eyes open, just staring unfocused at the ceiling, as she continues to chant a series of random numbers. Which, as you listen a bit, as a tech priest, Beneficus, you begin to realize that there's a specific range from 0 to 2047. As she continues to speak, is the top and bottom of the range that you seem to be able to find.
What's wrong with her?
And this is everybody else. I think Beneficus, upon realizing that, will stick his head back out and listen to the person in the next room. Are they also within that same range, or is that range specific to the patient?
It's every patient is doing something different. No 2 patients are reciting the same series of numbers.
Okay.
And there are different ranges. There are different sequences.
Cool.
Does 2047 have any significance to Genevieve Parker, as far as I know?
Not that you know of.
Okay.
Does she have like a locker with her stuff there?
You'd have to ask around. You know that going into any of the rooms would probably require access from someone, and you know that as you look around, there are
we're not in them.
Yeah, there are.
Okay.
So as you look around, there are 2 Sisters Hospitalier, several medical technicians, and about a dozen servitors. And servitors, so a bit of information that even those of you a little bit more familiar with 40K might not know, is that in the Imperium of Man, the research of artificial intelligence is outlawed. It is illegal and banned to research any kind of artificial intelligence. So to get around this, for things that need to be able to think and react for themselves, the Imperium uses organic matter. So a lot of
Basically, put an AI in a meat suit.
essentially, but like for anything that needs to be able to think for itself, like tourists have targeting cogitators, usually have a human brain inside. And so the Medicaid servitors are literally humans that have been basically brain panned and are basically robots that do medical work for people. So as you see the Medicaid servitors, they are basically a faint reminiscence of human that has been mostly overgone with tubes and wires and technological equipment that is still vaguely human in shape, and you might see a bit of skin every now and then.
And Parker is not responsive to us at all.
Yeah, I mean,
is that right?
You haven't gone into the room yet. You probably need to talk to one of the Medicaid.
Oh, we can't. We can't even get into her room. Okay.
Yeah, you need to ask one of the probably one of the Sisters Hospitalier for access to one of the rooms.
She's in there.
Are any of them around, or
Yeah,
what's closest to us?
There's two of them around that you can go and speak to.
Okay. I honestly feel like Beneficus would probably talk to a servitor first.
It's communicating binary.
Yeah. Does anybody else want to reach out to the sisters?
I can if you like.
So what do you want to do?
Logan will approach one of the Sisters Hospitalier. Hospitalier? Is that the correct pronunciation? Hospitalier. Okay. So he'll approach one of the sisters and say, "Pardon me, ma'am, but may we speak with the Chirurgeon?" Chirurgeon?
Yeah.
Oh, this pronunciation.
Chirurgeon.
Chirurgeon.
I'm afraid Chirurgeon Koenig is off duty. He should be back in a few hours. If there's anything else I can help you with, I'd be happy to.
What is the nature of this condition affecting apparently the majority of the individuals on your ward?
It's known as abacus syndrome. It's essentially what you see. The patients become unresponsive and begin to recite sequences of numbers. We've currently got 49 poor souls suffering.
Do they come to your ward suffering from it, or have they begun to suffer from it once they arrive?
Typically, a patient contracts. All of the patients that we've got so far have contracted abacus syndrome while within the hospital. But there doesn't really seem to be a pattern for how anyone's coming down with it.
Which one was patient 0?
Patient 0 is in room 7 is Astropath Darren Field.
Is that room nearby?
It's a few down the hall, yeah.
And she said she can't grant access?
I can give you access to any of the rooms. Are you doing an investigation for the sergeant?
Yes.
All right.
I don't know if that's actually true or not, but he's...
No, it's not.
You might be, for all you know.
If nothing else, Parker has this syndrome, so we need to do something about it.
And in there, I'm gonna activate an ability power because this is weird and creepy. I want to do the one I can't pronounce.
Synescience.
Synescience. There we go. Synescience. To see if there are any psychic powers or phenomena at play here, because this is weird, and they're all kind of doing the same-ish thing. I want to see if it's connected. So that is a DN2. Takes my full action.
And while B is doing that, the hospital goes on. Yes, patient 0, astropath Darren Field is in room 7, and someone else doing an investigation, tech priest Falanan, is in room 15. If you'd like to coordinate with him.
Indeed, yes. We will require access to both of those rooms, as well as the room of our compatriot, Adept Parker.
Mm-hmm. I can provide that, yes. So with your Synesians, do you want to do any shifts?
Yeah, because I think I can get some more information. Let me see here. The DN's only 2, so I've got plenty left.
You can shift all of those 6s.
Yeah. The only thing that potency gets me though is range. So this is it's just willpower.
Regular shifts. So.
Okay, I can do regular shifts. There's ones for getting some more information, right?
Sure.
Yeah, that seems useful. I would like to do some of those.
You want to shift? How many?
Let me see here. I'm trying to remember what these do. People are moving away. I want more information. I have how many shifts? 1, 2, 3, 4. Whoa. Okay. I'll do, I'll do 2 shifts toward information and 2 towards quality. So no, I'll shift all toward information because quality is something else. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I want as much information as I can.
Yeah. So as you sort of open your mind to psychic presences around you, you sort of begin to feel that there is a definite psychic presence surrounding the individuals afflicted by Abacus syndrome. They are... Something is reaching out to them. You don't know if it is the cause of the disease or if it is attempting to interact with the disease or if it's completely unrelated. But there is some kind of psychic force that is reaching out to and attempting to interact with each of the individuals who is afflicted by Abacus syndrome.
Something individual to each of them, or something like with a node here that is reaching out? Because I know that patient 0 is here. Can I tell that?
It's hard to tell sources, but you can definitely sense as you look around, there is a definite stronger sense of this psychic energy as you get closer to room 7. Which makes an amount of sense because, as you know, astropaths are a type of psyker. Mm-hmm. So you do know that if Darren Fields is an astropath, he is a psyker.
Yeah, a little different from me. I'm going to... I think this is one I can maintain. I'm going to try and keep maintaining that while we... If the rest of the group is headed that way, I want to maintain it so I can kind of, like, as they're talking to this person, I can kind of see if anything changes or shifts.
Mm-hmm. Do you think this is something that's obvious to an outside observer when B is doing it?
Probably not, honestly. Unless B has a certain physical tick, it's not an obvious psychic power.
Okay.
No, she's not really. Though we've been working together, she's concentrating on something. She's not paying attention to, like, the conversation very much.
Voss may assume she's figuring out how much the medical equipment in here is worth.
Yeah, that might be.
Okay, cool, thank you.
Yep. I'll just follow on behind whatever you two do.
Okay, so what do you think? Do we investigate patient 0 or speak with the tech priest? Because if Parker's suffering from this Abacus syndrome, then there's a good chance that she's not going to respond to anything or anything along those lines.
Right. Voss says, I would suggest we speak with the priest first. That may inform our investigation of the other patients.
Sounds like a plan.
At the very least, we can ask if there is any indication of contagion or how the disease is spread, and that way limit our own exposure.
Sounds like a good plan.
So that was room 15, is that right?
Room 15.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Is where Tech Priest Philanon is. So you head over there and step into room 15, and inside you see the sort of beetle-like form of a Tech Priest in their variety of different shapes as they appear. He has sort of this rounded metal hood as he turns to face you as you enter. Ah, another of the Order of Mars. Welcome. Ah, but you come from Voss. It's good to see you, brother.
Indeed. Praise the Omnissiah.
Praise be to him indeed. How can I assist you?
Is he from Mars?
He's
Can we tell
definitely
from
Mars.
his... Okay. We are here to retrieve our compatriot, Adept Parker, but we understand she is suffering from abacus syndrome.
There is something to these numbers. This syndrome that has taken all of these individuals. I find it intriguing. From a technical standpoint, it is strange.
How so?
Well, based on my assessment of these numbers, they seem almost as if they are something that can be translated into lingua technis. These numbers, they almost seem as if there is a syncopation to the recitation of these numbers, and broken down into groups. And based upon numeric timing, they could be broken down into lingua technis.
I assume you have been attempting to analyze it as such. Any progress?
I may have had a breakthrough. Perhaps. There is a... The numerical translations match the format of a standard security level epsilon passcode. Which is not common on this planet. Epsilon passcodes are very old. In fact, the only location on this planet that I know of that uses an Epsilon passcode would be the Food Processing and Distribution Center. It's entirely automated, which means an Epsilon passcode is required to gain access to the facility. But an Epsilon passcode would grant complete access to the food and water distribution for most of this planet.
And the astropath, who was the first to suffer from the condition, did he have any link to the treatment plant?
With this information, actually, all of you can go ahead and roll me an investigation test.
Yes.
Oh boy, I'm not good at
I'm
this one.
keeping a thing up, so the DN is 2 higher for me. But I will try it anyway. Yeah. I'm busy.
So
What was
Nice.
the difficulty on this?
Nice.
B, you're focusing. But the rest of you, the other two of you, have the immediate realization based on what he's saying, and based on the knowledge that that Darren Field is a psyker. You have the realization and the possible inference that the patient, Darren Fields, might be attempting... Each of the patients might be attempting to use might be attempting to generate the passcode to open the lock of the distribution center.
Oh wow! So it's like monkeys with a bunch of typewriters.
It's attempting to brute force the code.
Okay.
Huh.
Which could mean that whoever is behind the disease, the abacus syndrome, might be able to get access to the food distribution center at any moment.
Can I shift some of my 6s to find out anything additional?
Sure. Based on the information that you have with the abacus syndrome, it would typically require someone of... Typically speaking, one would not just be able to psychically perform this kind of manipulation on a large scale. It would typically require something else, which sort of implies that abacus syndrome is actually a disease, not just a psychic effect. And it sort of implies that whoever is behind the abacus syndrome knew this and is manipulating the existence of the psyker to do this. Which, also at this point, everyone can go ahead and make me an awareness test.
Yes. Hey. Again, my DN is 5 plus 2 again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, the DN for this was 1.
Cool.
It had sort of become a background drone for a while, so it takes you a second to realize it, but the chanting is stopped.
Oh. The chanting of the priestesses
numbers.
or the
numbers.
The numbers.
The numbers have stopped.
I've been keeping this power up. Has the psychic influence that I'm sensing changed at all?
It's not as attentive.
Okay. Do I know why?
It's difficult.
Has it found?
You can take a guess that someone might have just found the combination.
Okay. Bee's eyes snap open and she focuses suddenly. That's not good. I think it found something.
Voss looks at Bee with alarm and then looks back at is it Philanon? Philanon. And says, "Has that happened since it's begun?"
No, they've never stopped.
The cessation of chanting.
Chanting has never ceased.
Until now, which means something big just happened.
Who else has access to the rooms?
Kairurgeon Koenig, as far as I know, is the only one with access to all of the rooms.
We were told he was not present.
He returned... I sensed his return to the floor merely a few minutes ago, while we were having this conversation.
Voss turns and looks at the other two and says, "I believe we have our next subject of inquiry."
Scanning, Philanon says, as he sort of plugs mechadendrites into one of the wall consoles. Kairurgeon Willem Koenig is no longer present, and 7 of the abacus patients are missing. Including your adept Genevieve Parker.
What
about the astropath? Is he with them as well?
Let me check here. Astropath is still present.
We say back on Voss Prime, this whole situation has just gone bits up.
It's true. This is a very common phrase. We should go find her. I drop Sinisians at that point, probably. Because I don't think it would. Unless. Yeah. Could I use that to find where any of them have gone? Because this chunk of the hive mind basically has been has splintered off. Could I use Sinisians to try and figure out where they've gone, or what direction at least?
Not necessarily, but based on the hunch that your teammates have, the food processing distribution center is a place that you can find on a map.
Okay. All right. Yeah. B is dropped the power by this point. We need to find her. At there's a, what was it? You were saying something. I don't pay attention when it's not cool looking.
Food and resource treatment plant?
Food distribution and water treatment.
Food.
If this is in any way tied to the presence of the Poxwalkers, I have grave concerns about what the intention of this Koenig would be.
Yes.
Sounds to me like we have a traitor on our hands.
Onward.
Saya, protect us.
So you guys intend to head to the distribution center?
I think so.
Yeah.
All right. So,
do we want to try and inform that sergeant that we met? Nah. We'd take it.
I don't know.
I think it's probably not a bad idea.
Might be a good idea.
She is attempting to quarantine the area. It would make sense to tell her we're leaving.
It's true. Can any of you talk to her?
Let's turn to Philenon and say, do you have a way to quickly access the sergeant's communicator? She had a pearl, right?
Yeah, she had a Vox bead. I could certainly patch you into her Vox.
Then do so with all haste.
So he kind of like there's some muttering in Binaric, and you begin to as he begins to act basically as a speaker system. This is Sergeant Grisvina. How can I help you?
I'm picturing the scene from The Good Place where Janet just opens her mouth and everybody leans over and talks into it.
The radio, yeah.
Sergeant, this is Beneficus Voss. We have reason to believe that Kyorgen Koenig has taken patients and is traveling to the food and water treatment plant with the intention of contaminating the supplies therein.
Traitorous Fethhead. I knew something was up with him.
Can you offer us rapid transit and support as we attempt to halt him?
I'll bring along 5 of my best guards and get an air car.
Messiah be praised. I guess shut Philenon's mouth. I don't know.
You offer a nod to Philenon and he stops transmitting.
It's good. Wonderful.
Well, I suppose good fortune to you then.
The Emperor protects. We will not fail.
And Foss will look to the other two and say, any precautions or armaments that you think we should take?
To find a drinking fountain.
Did you find a drinking fountain? Yeah.
Well, I don't think Voss can blink anymore, but his mechanical eye just kind of goes like.
I take out a bag, Ziploc bag, and I fill it up with water. The end. That's it. And then I seal it up very carefully and put it back in my backpack.
Okay.
Saying nothing. I'm ready now.
Logan just looks to the other tech priest and he just shrugs.
It's weird like that.
We could obtain
does that.
bottles. See?
You could have what?
We could obtain bottles.
But I had a bag.
It doesn't matter. Let's move on.
I have no college in
That is
argument
entire.
statement.
That is entirely in character for the record.
Yes. Beautiful. Listen, I got 3 random items. I have a plastic bag. It's waterproof.
I love it. Out of character, I think it's fantastic. Voss
Yeah.
is very perplexed.
Oh yeah. I'm very excited. Carry on. We travel. Stuff happens.
I guess we wait for the air car. Rank. What is Lokan's rank again?
He is a veteran sergeant with the Valhalla Ice Warriors.
Okay, all right. So technically, everybody they send with us should be reporting to him, right?
I guess.
Technically, he's not in the same category because they're not Astra Militarum. They're just security. They're more like PDF.
Oh, okay.
So they have their own. They have their own power structure.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. I was also thinking on a related note that while Lokan is not a de facto leader of authority, while the Inquisitor who normally leads this warband is not present, I imagine that he does use his experience as a leader of troops on the regular.
Probably.
Yep.
That certainly makes sense to me.
Anyways.
Vossian. Loken.
All right. So.
Sorry, I missed that.
Yeah.
You quiet all of a sudden.
Do you speak Vossian? Voss Prime, the language?
No, I don't.
Okay, I lean over to our tech priest and say, as all of this military stuff is happening, and say, well, if you won't get in Vossian, well, if you won't give me one of your spare, when it gets chopped off your arm, your spare syringe things, I think we should split his weapons when he dies.
Voss turns and looks and says, "I also in Vossian.
I would do that. You would do the same for me, I'm sure.
I would show the proper respect to the machine spirits residing therein. They must be returned, cleansed, oiled, and laid to rest."
No, rest is for things that are broken. His weapons will still work.
Voss is going to look around and see, is there a surgical tray or anything within reach?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Voss is gonna reach out with one of his dendrites and just grab a bunch of surgical implements and hand them to B. Well, hand.
What am I supposed to do with these?
Whatever you would do with the other implements you seek to find. Take them. Allow them to satisfy your curiosity.
It was mostly greed.
Allow them to satisfy your curiosity avarice.
Greed. Just
So.
Allow them to satisfy your...
No. Greed.
He's trying to find like the right word in Vossian. I don't even know if greed's a word in Vossian.
Yes, it is.
To satisfy your desire for acquisition of things other than knowledge.
That works.
Yeah. So I'm assuming you guys head out to the distribution center at this point.
Yep.
I just like to imagine this is banter going on in the back of the sky car.
Yep.
Eventually.
Yeah, after you watch them talking about it.
Oh no, Logan's sitting up front, fidgeting with his reliquary.
So
That makes sense.
You all arrive. The enormous food distribution center towers over the facility entrance. Armed watchtowers mark 20-meter intervals along the huge fence surrounding the complex. Signs indicating no admission by order of the Adeptus Mechanicus are placed every few meters as well. The loud sounds of heavy machinery performing some sort of noisy processing pounds at your ears, while the strong odor of yeast assaults your sinuses. The aura of security and stability is shattered by the scene at the main entrance. The gateway, which should be locked and sealed, is wide open. All of the servitor crude turrets in the watch stations hang limply, with no signs of lighting or motion.
Is there any way we can get those things up and running? Is there a access panel or anything like that?
We would probably need the Epsilon passcode to do that ourselves.
Yeah, you would probably need the passcode, which Koenig probably has, but other than him, probably only like some of the most senior tech priests on this planet would have.
Okay. Well, figure no harm in asking.
Yeah.
All right.
And someone trying to contact someone with the appropriate clearance for that code could take hours.
All right, fair enough.
Which you sort of feel you don't have that long.
Probably not.
No.
But it as you get a look at this facility as you enter within, you get the understanding. It's pretty clear that this facility handles a wide swath of Enoch's area of distribution of food. Like, this place meets the nutritional needs probably of millions of citizens.
Mm-hmm. And
which Grosvenor notes, I've never been inside this facility, but this one plant handles probably kilometers of area of distribution. Both food and water.
Do we see anything of where what was his name?
Koenig?
Yeah. Koenig has gone where he might have any.
Go ahead and make me an awareness test.
Okay.
I shall do the same.
Yeah, everyone can go ahead and make that awareness test.
Ooh, that's a complication. But 4 successes anyway. Or more than that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. 2, 3, 4. I got 6.
I will handle that particular complication myself.
Okay. All right. Cool.
There we go. And so, yes, with all of that success, you all notice that there is a faint trail of bile on the ground, which you can only surmise was left behind by the passage of poxwalkers. Which you remember seeing something similar when you fought the creatures in the sanitarium lobby. And you can easily follow that trail.
Should we see if something's up there? I can maybe try and sneak ahead. I'm pretty good at stealth.
Going to do so with all haste. I fear that the longer we delay, the more risk there is of contamination.
Yeah.
We'll try to follow you from a distance in case you're ambushed.
Yep.
All right, so
I will try and sneak ahead.
If you would like to sneak ahead, go ahead and make me a stealth check, and you can add a 3-die bonus to this.
Ooh, okay.
Let's see.
Nice. Just gets added there. Yeah. All right. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm gonna spend a shift if I don't know what the shifts are for stealth. If I can move faster,
Sure.
because that seems like a good idea. Let's move as fast and quick as possible, while still being quiet.
And you had 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, he had 6. And so he needs to. Okay. So, as you follow the trail towards where it leads, you eventually find the source of the bile trail. As you manage.
Oh God!
As you manage to sneak up on a group of poxwalkers all variously milling about, and you see at the back of the group is an individual that you've not quite seen before, who could only be this Chirurgeon Willem Koenig. He is this sort of heavily stocky individual, like rotund to the point of probably classified as obese to most medical professionals. And he seems to be intensely focused on whatever work he is doing around this water treatment machine. And there's the corpse of a poxwalker is laying on the ground next to his feet as he seems to be fiddling with some of this technology. As you look around, you notice among all of these poxwalkers who are not paying any attention to you, they're all sort of milling about with their own tasks. You recognize the face of one of them. As you look at it, you recognize Genevieve Parker.
Yep.
Oh boy.
Yep.
Oh, jeez.
I need you to make a fear test for me real quick.
Yep.
Everyone?
Just her.
Okay.
Because we're not up there
Yeah,
yet.
because you're not there yet.
What's fear again? That's
Resolve.
Resolve?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't think this is gonna go so well. Yeah, no.
You are frightened. You try and keep yourself.
Okay.
You try and keep yourself out of sight, but the realization of the fate of your companion has struck a chord in you.
This is bad.
That one's not actually the corpse. That's just one that's still there.
Has the complication resolved yet, or are we?
Yeah, the complication
Spading
is that
up.
there's one more poxwalker than there should be.
Okay, cool. I'm freaked out. Let's see. What do I want to do? Is so speed wise, how far away from the rest of the group? Like, if I did something now, would they be able to reach me in their turns in the initiative?
They'd probably catch up to you on your turn if you decided to do something now.
Okay. I'm freaked out, and this is bad. So I'm gonna do something stupid.
I love it when players say that.
Yep. I'm gonna try and do. Let's just do a smite. That No, he's not. He's not one of the weird undead things. I'm gonna try and do Psychic Shriek.
And the just bear in mind the grid points are
Yes.
Each grid square is 2 meters.
Okay. I think I'm still well within the 50-meter range, though.
Yes, definitely.
Yep, I figured. Okay.
Let me go ahead and change the scale on this map. There you go. Now your ruler should be accurate.
Okay, sweet.
Yeah,
That's
you're definitely
awesome.
within 50
Thank you.
meters.
All right, cool.
Yep. So I'm gonna try and do Psychic Shriek. This seems bad. So, do I
And
want to
technically,
do
it's not
that?
the thing you're frightened of, so you don't suffer the DN penalty.
Oh, okay. I'm frightened of her only. Okay,
You're
that's
frightened
good.
of Poxwalkers, not of Koenig.
Okay, got it. Yeah, I'm gonna try and hit him because he's connected to this. I'm mad at him. Let's fuck shit up and be unbound. So I get a bonus wrath die. Just an extra dice.
There's an extra die, but it is a wrath die.
It is a wrath die, so I have a higher chance of messing up, but I'm gonna do it anyway. Sorry, trying to make sure. Ooh,
Your
wrong
difficulty number is
button.
the target's
Why?
willpower, which means for Koenig,
Yes.
it will be...
Yep. So I have 2 wrath die.
It'll be 4.
Okay, 4?
Yep.
I think I can make that. I've got 11 dice.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Nice.
No complications.
Yeah, no
Very nice.
All right. So I can spend one of the or a couple of those for some stuff. Let me see what
You can spend one of them. You have to hold on to at least one
One
of
of them?
sixes.
one of those.
You
Okay,
have to maintain at least 4.
got it. Okay, so Psychic Shriek. I'm gonna do that one. Requires 2. I want to spend one of our glory points. We've got a lot.
Yeah, that sounds like a good plan.
To add, can I do that to add to the potency?
Let me see what glory can be used for.
Yeah, because it costs 2 potency to do what I want to do, and I can do one of my 6s on that.
I would say not quite. That is not within the realm of glory. But
Okay.
if you wanted to spend
All
your
right.
other wrath, I would say you could do that.
Okay, 1, 2, 3.
Because wrath sort of has broad narrative powers. So if you wanted to spend your other wrath, I would say you could. But that is
Okay.
not quite within the realm of glory. Glory has a slightly more restricted power.
Okay,
set.
all right. I will spend my wrath then. Let's do that. Why not?
Or I will say you could also spend a glory to try and add an extra die, and if you make that extra success, then you'd be able to shift both 6s.
I'm feeling lucky. Let's do that. 1d6.
You made the extra
Hey!
success.
Hey, got there.
Yeah! Alright, so we are at 5 glory. And I will do that to add 1 difficulty to the willpower test to be staggered. So if
Willpower
hit,
difficulty 6.
yep, that creature immediately takes 1d3 plus 3 shock. So I can roll that real quick. How do you do d3s? There it is. So 4 shock, and must make a successful willpower test DN 6 or be staggered. hit him hard at the beginning.
Okay.
Oh, you want me to hit him hard, you say?
4 shock damage, and
Yep.
willpower tester be staggering.
Yep.
Okay, what's his willpower look like? It's gonna be hard,
It is. 6 is pretty difficult.
especially when he's only got 4 dice.
Yep. But I am currently...
Nope, that's just 2.
Yep. Okay, so he is staggered for... And it doesn't say a duration on that one. It just says or be staggered. It doesn't say for 1 round like it did for the
Let me see what
blindness.
the staggered condition does.
Yeah.
Staggered condition. A staggered character's move speed is reduced to half speed, and they may not run or sprint for 1 round unless otherwise stated. So it lasts a round. The condition by itself lasts a round.
Okay. Cool. That works. Not great, but
Yeah. He's
it was worth it.
Significantly
But not
slowed
nothing.
not nothing. All right.
Which then, in this course of initiative that we have just started, brings it to the enemy's turn.
Yes.
I mean, crazy idea. We could spend a point of glory to seize the initiative.
Actually, you guys just...
We could.
You did just... I think that might actually qualify. Let me check the initiative thing, because I believe there's a thing about surprises.
There is ambush.
Ooh.
Because that would
'Cause I
definitely
snuck
qualify
up
as
on-
an ambush.
Yeah.
Initiative, ambush. Some of the characters unaware, unprepared. An ambush starts a combat encounter, but unlike a typical encounter where heroes and that's the group that has successfully triggered the ambush all get to act before the unprepared characters.
Oh, I like where this is going.
Woo!
That said, I will spend one of the ruin that I have right now to make Koenig at least aware of the ambush. So while the Poxwalkers don't get to act this turn, Koenig will.
Perfect.
So Koenig, after having gotten blasted with 3 shock, or was it 4 shock?
It was 4.
Four shock.
After having gotten blasted with
His-
4 shock,
Brain hurt.
will turn. No, you cannot get in the way of my work. And will, on his first turn,
Can I, real quick, because I had my turn, I did an action, but I still had a move, and one of my talents is sidestep. Sacrifice move to gain plus rank defense and plus rank resilience versus 1 attack.
sorry, say again.
So whatever he's talents, I have sidestep. I can sacrifice my move. So instead of I did my action, I had
so
a move.
Instead of
So
moving, yeah, you can sidestep.
I'm sidestepping. Yep.
Yeah, okay, so you're
Dodge and weave.
And what does sidestep
Yep.
do for you?
Gain plus rank defense and plus rank resilience versus 1 attack. So it's just +1
Yeah.
defense or resilience.
So
So
his speed
whatever
is
he's
currently
about
cut
to
in
do.
half, and he can't run.
Yep.
So you can only move. He can move currently 1 square. He can
Nice.
only move 3 squares, but his speed's cut in half.
Nice.
But he will go ahead and fire his auto pistol at you.
Yep. So my defense is currently then 4 instead.
So he's gonna roll. What's your defense? 4?
4.
Okay. And you have an extra resilience to this attack as well.
Mm-hmm.
Wow!
Oh, wow. For those playing at home, no successes and a complication, I believe.
6 dice, yeah. As he brings his auto pistol to bear on you, he pulls the trigger and there's just a clicking sound as it jams. He just looks at it, and you can't see under the mask that he's wearing, but you imagine there's an expression of rage there.
Praise the Omnissiah, the machine spirits do not support your treachery.
And this is when you guys arrive, and the rest of the Poxwalkers don't get to go.
Yeah.
Excellent.
What is his work? He said, "You won't disturb my work." What was he doing before he turned around and started shooting?
He had just opened up a hatchway into water distribution.
Oh boy.
All right. I think it's time to interrupt him. May I take my turn?
Sounds like a good plan.
I like it.
Okay, so Logan is going to move 1, 2, 3. Plasma gun in hand. I'm going to take a simple action to set it to supercharge. So I deal on a hit, I deal 2 extra dice of damage. But if I get a complication on my wrath die, I take 1d6 mortal wounds, which I can only soak with my refractor field. Okay, so ballistic skill. Oh, that's a critical! If I hit him.
Hey!
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
You were shooting at
Yeah.
Yes.
Koenig. His defense is only 4.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Okay, now what? I believe yes. Roll a 6 on the wrath die is a critical.
Critical hits. Let me get into this. Let me see.
Page 224 is where they start.
Yep.
Yeah, if you roll a 6 on your wrath die, you score a critical hit. During critical hits, we're rolling, and we're not going to use the wrath deck because I don't have one. Roll me a d66. So just roll me 2d6.
On the sheet, it's got a section for it.
You're right, yeah, you can
on
do
the
Oh.
left-hand side of where your kind of skill shows up or attribute, whatever you're rolling, it says selected, and there's 2 little die.
Oh yeah. The D66,
Yep, D66.
Yep.
Okay, let's see what this does. 42. Vicious counter strike.
Fury of this blow
The fury of this
horrific
blow
pain.
causes horrific pain, disintegrating and piercing
pieces. Yeah.
disintegrating pieces of the foe's body in a scene of carnage and woe. Target suffers 1d3 mortal wounds in addition to standard damage.
Ooh.
Severity. Does that mean I can spend one of my exalted icons to apply that extra?
No, this is you can spend a glory to apply that extra severity.
We've got 5.
Yeah.
We reckon it's worth it? I vote yes.
Yeah. I'd vote yes.
Alright, our glory goes to 4.
And so
So 3.
So 3 mortal wounds.
3 mortal ones. And
then
now I need
base
to roll
damage.
actual damage. I needed 4 successes to hit him, right?
Yeah.
And so I can convert one of my 6s into extra damage. I think.
Yep.
Okay, cool. There we go.
$18, right?
16, 17, 18, 19.
Oh.
19 damage.
Ow.
Nice. Yeah, ow.
That
would-
eats
Plus,
that plasma gun eats through the 3 armor of his flak armor as well. So he manages to reduce that by 6 normally, which puts it down to he would normally take 13 wounds, which is painful. But I'm going to spend a ruin rather. I'm going to spend a ruin to allow him to try and soak.
can he soak the 3 mortal wounds I dealt him?
He cannot soak the mortal wounds. but he can spend a ruin to try and soak the rest of those wounds. He soaks 2 of those extra wounds.
All right.
So he's
Still pretty bad, though.
very hurt.
Yeah.
That's very painful.
So as Loken fires a shot, he just yells out, "In the name of the Emperor and the Holy Inquisition, you will be purged."
See the plasma shot slams into him. Ah! Which then brings it to the next person to go, Veneficus, if you want to, or you can let one of the guardsmen go.
Yes, I would like to go. I want to make sure first that I am interpreting the rules of the system correctly. But I just looked up jumping, and under jumping, I can do, which I believe is still a movement action, I can cover 3 times the relevant statistic, which is strength or agility if you have a talent.
Yeah, a character can jump 3 times the relevant statistic across or high. A treacherous jump, or one covering a greater distance than that which a character can clear automatically, requires an athletic skill test. If a character jumps onto difficult terrain, then must take an athletics agility test to successfully make the landing, or else end up prone. Yeah.
Does Koenig count as difficult terrain?
Yes.
Because... All right, I'm going to jump on him because he's 24 meters away, and my strength with my dendrites is 8.
Yeah.
So what I think this looks like is Veneficus just sort of crouches down, his dendrites strike out in all directions around him and just launch him into the air, and then as he flies, he redirects his path with the dendrites whipping out again, like Dr. Octopus style, and if possible, comes down on Koenig.
Beautiful.
I'm sure that's supposed to be restricted by your speed, but in this playtest, I don't care, and I am very.
Actually,
I'm very excited.
It's super not, because it says it's determined by a character's strength, not speed.
What page is that on? I'm curious.
It is on page 212. It's in the movement section.
Movements.
These methods can be, if you go right up to it, the standard movement above, these methods of movement can be combined any way you wish, but every time you move, no matter the method, you deduct the distance for your total speed attribute. You may not exceed your speed each turn. Which means that outside of combat, you'd be able to jump however far you can jump, but in combat, you can only cover so much distance around. But I don't care, because it's amazing.
Yes. Nicely done.
So
okay. So I'm going to move. And I guess a downside, this certainly puts me right in the middle of all these.
In the middle of all those poxwalkers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't.
I wish I'd thought of that, because it ties in.
So what else are you gonna do?
Well, I'm definitely going to attack him. I mean, that's the whole point. I'm coming down on him with my servo arm. So, boy, this is going to be anticlimactic if I fail this attack.
With the attack,
We have glory.
Shall I use another glory?
You can spend a glory after you roll.
Oh, okay.
In case it's bad.
Or a wrath point.
Or wrath.
Yeah.
I think I'm just going to do wrath, which I have to do before.
You can decide wrath and glory both after you roll.
Yeah.
Boy, I am not used to having that freedom from other systems I play.
Oh.
Ooh.
Yeah, you can spend a wrath and a glory if you want.
Why not both?
Do it. Wrath and glory.
Okay, so wrath and glory. So that adds 2 wrath dice to my roll?
Wrath lets you reroll any failures, and glory adds an extra die.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
All right. So I'm going to put a... but it's an extra wrath die, right?
No, it's just
it is just a regular dice.
So that goes into a modifier? Is that right?
No.
Just roll 4d6 plus 1d6.
Okay.
Yeah.
The extra 1d6 for the wrath die, which I assume gets re-rolled because it failed.
The wrath die would be re-rolled, yes.
Yep. If it's
Okay.
a 1, then you can't re-roll it. But if it's not a 1, then but it's still a failure,
So
you can.
that last one is the
Nice.
That's a 4.
It's better.
And 6. So
One
that's
more.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 successes. Which his defense is 4. So you can't shift the 6 away, but you do hit him.
Okay.
Nice.
And
Which will hit him
14,
for 15 damage.
AP3, and it's AP3.
Ow. Ow.
Please tell me that extreme Spider-Man hammer down jump kills him.
Hang on a minute. First, he does get his flak armor here. So it subtracts 9.
AP -3.
Yeah. Oh no, right. Never mind. He doesn't get his flak armor because of servo arm.
And I think as he comes down, he says, "Sweet Messiah, guide my arms as though they were your own into the heart of your foes."
So he takes 6 more wounds, which puts him at 18 wounds. He's very dead.
And now Voss realizes he's surrounded by plague
No, he
zombies.
adds 9 wounds. Sorry, he's at 21 wounds. He's very, very dead.
I'm going to need some new boots.
And the Poxwalkers don't
Is
get to
he-
go yet.
Is he human?
He was human.
I mean, or
he
is
was human.
Was.
Now he's a corpse.
Yes.
But I mean, he wasn't a mutant or
Didn't seem like it.
plague infected.
Oh, good.
He didn't burst when I landed on
Not
him.
really.
Nothing excessively nurgly.
No. Well, I mean, you suspect if you pulled the mask away, there'd be a little bit of Nurgle mutation, but he seemed like he was not overly so.
Okay.
And because you've got... And then the guards will take their turn, as they will go ahead and maneuver up and open fire on one of the Poxwalkers, and their collective fire will bring down this one. And then we go back to the top, as it's now you guys' turn. Who goes first?
Yeah, I could go to shoot one of the Poxwalkers attack that's close to Voss.
All right. And like I said, you can move up to your speed. Each of these is a 2 meter square.
Let me just... Okay, cool. Right, so... how do I do it, though? Sorry, just thinking. You know what? I'd say that counts. So Logan's going to move to there. Directly in front of me. And take a shot at that Poxwalker. Still on supercharge, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
So, firing another crit. What's their defense?
Nice.
Their defense, these ones are slightly tougher, but I don't think their defense has changed any, so it'll still be 2, yeah.
Okay. So, I got 6 off that. I'm going to shift
You can shift
both of my
6.
successes in. I'm going to shift both my 6s into extra damage.
Cool. And what's the critical hit? Roll me a d66.
Let's find out. 63. Unspeakable Carnage.
I love the name.
A truly grievous strike, the attack is a terrifying display of martial prowess. A geyser of gore erupts from the foe's wound, and ragged remnants of the body are strewn across the battlefield. Target takes 1d3 plus 3 mortal wounds.
And the severity for
Not
a
good.
glory is an extra mortal wound on top of that.
Yes.
So go ahead and roll me a d3 plus 3. And do you want to spend a glory for that severity?
No, because I just dealt 5 mortal wounds to it. On top of my damage, which I'm about to roll. I believe that's 16 damage all up.
16 damage, his resilience is 5, so that's another 11. How many wounds? Yeah, he was tougher than the original ones. That doesn't mean he stands up to that plasma shot any better.
Once the Poxwalker is in pieces, Loken just lowers his plasma gun an inch, looks behind him to B, and says, "Stay behind me."
She's freaking out back there. It's good. Which one was Genevieve?
This one.
Actually, yeah, that's a very good question.
Okay.
This one.
I probably
I don't know
recognize
if Loken and I have noticed that yet.
Yeah.
So now that you guys are both visible, you can go ahead and roll me fear tests as you recognize Genevieve.
Oh shit!
Okay, resolve.
And I actually realized I'm supposed to add half of my tier, which I think is just 1.
Yeah. Well, no, it'd be 2.
Or I'm sorry.
up.
Half my is it my rank?
It's probably rank if it's from
Yeah.
your
Yeah,
archetype.
it's half my rank from Rite of Pure Thought, so I get +1 to fear tests, which I
Nice.
forgot about earlier. So does that?
That's an
How do I do?
It's
Yeah,
add an
so-
extra die.
Yeah, I get a
Bump up the skill.
Modifier.
Yeah.
Yeah, modifier. Or you can just...
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Gotcha.
Yep.
Yeah. Sorry. Loken's regimental affiliation gives him an extra bonus dice on resolve tests. I've had that in from the beginning. Okay, rolling resolve. I'm going to spend a wrath.
All right. Your resolve's really bad.
Yeah, I'm a guardsman. What more do you want?
That's with the extra. That's with the extra die.
Yes.
Your resolve's only
Wow. That's terrible.
Womp womp.
2.
Checking. Hey, I'm fine.
Do you want to roll a wrath as? Do you want to use a wrath as well, Beneficus, to reroll those?
I think that's probably good given my situation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That'll be my last one.
I mean, I can potentially save you from it again.
Okay, that's better.
There we go.
Yeah,
that works
you're
too.
fine, Beneficus. Loken, unfortunately, the DN for the fear test for recognizing Genevieve is 4. Just barely missed it.
Oh.
I can spit. Do we want me to spend a glory?
I think that'd probably be a good idea.
Yeah, I would agree.
All right, we go to 2 glory. Come on, big money.
So we're spending Wrath and Glory.
Yes.
Hey, you
Yay!
made it. You managed to suppress your
Fucking
fear
fine.
at the sight of your former friend turned into a Poxwalker. All right, which then brings it to a Poxwalker's turn. Genevieve's gonna go say hi to her friend.
Oh no.
So that's gonna be. And suffer a complication, apparently.
Oh no.
You guys get an extra glory because I can't make too much use of other complications there.
All right, we're
Sweet.
at 3. Now?
Brings it back to either B or Beneficus.
I'd like to go because Genevieve just came up.
Yeah, please.
I'm gonna try and smite her. This seems bad. It has to be. It's not bound anymore because I have to do these all at unbound.
Right, it's difficult to go back down once you unleash yourself.
I've opened this up. So
Oh, that's interesting.
yep. Yeah, it's kind of a weird, fun kind of thing. So I have to have a bonus wrath in there. This is smite. So let me find that spell. It's just a hit. I think I'm doing it against their defense, the target's defense. And I can do this at multi. Their defense is pretty low, so let's try it.
Are you still frightened?
I am still frightened. That's true. I'm not gonna do that yet. I'm just gonna attack. Yeah, I guess I'm trying to attack Genevieve. She's right there. This is terrifying. Okay. That doesn't bring my dice down. That just adds to Does that bring my dice down?
It just adds 1 to the difficulty.
Okay. Alright. So, that's probably against 3.
Target's defense is
Right?
2, so yeah, you're looking for a 3.
3?
Yeah.
I'm gonna... There's a lot of them, and I know that if they get one of my friends, then this gets a whole lot worse very, very fast. I'm going to... do I have to spend anything to do that? I don't think so. Sorry. New things. I would like to multi-target. So the DN is
Goes up by 2.
increased
Goes up by 2 for each
by
target you want to hit.
2, so that's
For each
5. I'm going to risk it. I have 10.
Yeah, for each extra target you want to hit, the DN goes up by 2.
Yep. So I am going to try and hit...
Let me check really quickly on multi-attacks.
Yeah.
Make only one attack roll and apply the result to all the targets. Yep.
Okay. All right. Sweet. I'm going to actually try and target the 2 that are on Beneficus. Yeah. Because that's he's in a worse situation than we are over here. We've got
Beneficus won't say thank you, but I will.
Okay. Yep. All right. So I'm rolling. I got 2 wrath die. Here we go.
Oh no!
You succeed, but
I
now
do.
we invite a peril of the warp.
Yes.
Oh boy!
1, 2, 3,
All right.
4, 5, 6.
Oh.
You can shift one of those 6s for extra damage, or for
Okay.
a potency if you want to.
Let's do. Let me see what my potency options are. With smite, it just no, the only potency spent is 3, so I won't do that. I'll just shift that probably then for glory. For glory.
All right, glory goes to 4.
Yep. All right. And should I do the roll first for the damage, or?
Go ahead and roll me a d66.
All right, let's do that first. 31. That's pretty good.
Mocking laughter.
Low.
A sinister chorus of low laughter swirls around the psyker and those around them. All sentient creatures within 25 meters must make a successful willpower test or are shaken by the experience and are hindered for 1 round. I gain a ruin.
Oh god,
Oh,
that's
no.
everyone.
Oh no! It had to pick the worst one.
That's everyone. Yeah.
What check is that?
Make a
Willpower.
test. DM3.
Am I also making that roll?
Yes, but first do your damage.
Okay. All right. Damage is... What was damage for this one? I have things on too many pages. Hi, everyone. This is why you have a psych rated party. For nonsense. D3 mortal wounds. Okay. They take 2 mortal wounds. Both of the ones that are on him.
Okay. That hurts.
Oh, that's not many. I still could. No, I couldn't spend because it would need 3. Never mind. I'm good.
You can spend either Wrath or Glory. You can spend to add 1 damage to a damage roll.
I believe it's Glory. Double checking.
I would really like the things that are on Beneficus to die.
Each glory spent adds 1 to total damage value. You may spend as much glory as you wish.
Probably not enough to completely get them.
You don't know.
Yeah.
You want to spend some glory?
Oh. Sure. It just adds a flat number, right?
Flat damage for each glory you spend.
And does that get added to both of them? Because I did a multi-attack?
Multi-attack, yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
I have no idea how much health these things have, but
actually, hang on. Let me check multi-attacks real quick.
okay.
I think it might be. I think multi-attacks you might actually roll damage separately.
Okay.
Like only 1 attack will inflict damage individually to all targets that are hit. Yeah.
Okay.
So roll another d3.
Let me roll
first.
1 more. Okay. 1.
Yeah. Okay. So you would need to spend to spend glory individually for each of those damage rolls.
Okay. I'll spend 1 glory on the 2 and see what happens.
That one dies.
Okay. Do you all mind if I spend 2 glory? We'd have 1 glory left to take this thing off.
It is right next to my character, so I'm in favor. But
I'm okay with it.
You okay? All right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do it.
Glory goes to 1.
3 glory spent.
Yep. And then stuff happens.
And as B brings her hands up and begins to gather the psychic energy into her hands to thrust at both of these poxwalkers, you sense that you've caught the attention of creatures of the warp in this act, and you can hear their malevolent laughter begin to ring out around you.
Yep.
Veneficus
Do
is
I
fine.
make that roll?
Yeah, everyone needs to make a willpower check.
Okay.
What's the difficulty?
3.
Okay, my willpower is 3 because guardsman.
3. Is this still affected by my fear or not?
No, because this is not what you're frightened of.
Okay, cool.
Maybe you should be, but no, you're not actually frightened of.
Yeah. Mine didn't roll. Okay.
I'm gonna spend my 2nd wrath point.
Right, yeah.
Hey!
I now have no wrath and need to. 2nd die is the wrath die.
You made it!
I'm fine.
This is just a roll. This isn't something I can shift glory.
Yeah, it's just
right?
It's a saving roll.
Yeah. Yep.
You guys are not hindered.
Whew.
Which is good, because hindering would have increased all of your difficulty numbers.
Yes.
Yeah, as Lucan turns back to the battle at hand, he just sees both of B's hands shoot out behind his head.
Yep.
Jump scare.
They freaked out our guards, though.
Back to the Poxwalkers. One of them is going to come over here and swing at Veneficus.
Veneficus, look at all those dead bodies around you.
yeah, I know.
What's your
It's
defense?
great.
Like home.
It is 3.
Okay, so they are going to hit you, and they're going to shift one of those dice for extra damage.
Oh no.
So that's going to be 7 plus 1 extra damage. 7 plus 2 extra damage.
Mm-hmm.
Yikes.
8 damage to you.
Okay. My
Minus your resilience plus any armor you wear.
Yeah, my resilience is 6, and I have 4 armor value. So, think I'm okay.
You reduce it to 0. You take no damage.
Okay.
Wow.
Mechanicus, man.
I have yeah,
Tank.
I have what is it called? I think just light power armor.
Mechanicus issue power armor, essentially.
Yeah, I have light power armor, and then I also took what was it called? Augmetic viscera. Basically, like my guts have all been replaced by wires and metal.
So that's the Poxwalker's attempt. It got a solid hit, but it didn't realize how much metal you're made of, and so it wasn't able to make anything actually come through. So brings us back to the next person in the round, which is Veneficus.
All right, I'm going to attack the one that just tried to attack me.
And it is worth noting.
Can I? Go ahead. Sorry.
You can make a multi-attack with a melee weapon, even if there's not things surrounding you, as long as you have the movement to shift between the creatures that you need to hit.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, my skill is not that great with my weapon.
Like Loken, if Loken had a Poxwalker in front of him and a Poxwalker over there that they could reach with their movement, you can still make a multi-attack and hit both of them, as long as you can walk from one to the other.
If I try to attack and I don't kill the one that's right next to me, and then I try to move away from it, do I take the equivalent of an attack of opportunity in this system?
Attacks of opportunity are in this system.
Okay.
They do have something similar, I think I read. I don't remember what it was in particular.
I know there's holding your attack, which you can set a trigger for.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I don't believe there's opportunity attacks.
The one thing that I want to just double check about how the system works, it seems like the way that turn order works, it seems like there's not really a disadvantage to being outnumbered.
The disadvantage to being outnumbered is that once all of you guys have moved, then all of the enemies get to go. Sorry, I forgot to do that last round.
Okay, all right. I mean, I don't want to disadvantage us, but oh, you know what? I don't think you forgot. We had a surprise round.
Yes, that's accurate.
That's okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's why we're doing so well so far.
So it will be after I do this thing, then we just
all
get
of the Poxwalkers are going to pile on, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I forgot about the surprise round. That makes sense. Let's see. Yeah, I'm just going to attack the one next to me because I'm not confident enough in my skill.
You hit with just one of the 6s. So
Okay.
you can shift the other 6.
I will. I roll my Missing axe, and then I click in roll 20. I click on this extra button to do the shit. Yeah. Oh well.
Oh, got it.
But 13 damage is still enough to kill the thing.
Okay.
Yep.
And then another Poxwalker comes in and attacks on good old Cyberman.
Cyberman.
That's way too many rat die.
Friendly neighborhood Cyberman.
Way too many rat dice, so I'm just going to count the first one. What's your defense?
It's 3.
3. Okay, so it does hit you with 4. And it can't shift anything because it has no icon, so it's going to be 7 plus an extra damage die. So just 7 damage, which your armor completely soaks.
Yep.
And then the guardsmen take their turn, and a blast of lav's fire takes out Genevieve.
Gasp! We could have saved her.
I don't think we could have.
No, we couldn't.
I'm 100% certain we couldn't have.
The remaining Poxwalkers are all going to pile on the tech priest.
In fact, I'm actually... I mean, it's not what we're worried about right now, but I'm a little worried about what's going down back in the hospital right now.
That one misses anything. That one hits you. Let's see if it can't do anything, though, because it can only roll the 1 damage. I accidentally put a rat die in there. That rat die doesn't exist. 8 damage, but you soak 10 of it.
Are we sure I've done that correctly? That seems like I'm really hard to kill.
These guys just don't have very powerful attacks, unfortunately.
Okay.
You've seen what your attacks are like. But let me go ahead and check the resilience system just so I can tell you what you should have.
I will look it up again just to make sure.
Yeah.
Resilience is your toughness +1.
Oh, okay. Yeah, then it is right.
Toughness +1, and then you add your armor on top of that.
Okay.
They're just not very strong, even if they pile on.
Oh, +1. I did it wrong. Oops, my resilience should be 5.
Unfortunately, they need to hit you real hard. And their claws don't have any AP. Otherwise, they might be doing better.
Unfortunately. Whose side are you on, William?
I am the force of chaos in this particular instance.
You absolutely are. I just wanted to make you admit it. Heretic!
Okay, it's 9 damage, but unfortunately, that's not quite enough to get through your armor, is it?
No.
Oh, they literally cannot do enough damage to hit you.
If I could get one of them to shift for extra damage...
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? Hang on. Use this for ruin. 1 second.
Oh no.
I mean that's more than fair.
Me and my mouth.
Spending ruin.
Sorry, I have this bad habit where I try to help the GM as much as I do the players.
I've done that before.
I have 2 very good friends who are married, and they have designed a system together, and they are awful when either one of them is GMing. Always the other husband will always help out and say, "Oh wait, no, in the rules this is supposed to," and it's always like, "But you're playing this game. Come on, don't help the GM."
Yeah, I'm gonna reroll some failures. I'm gonna reroll those 2 failures and see if I can get something better on that. Let's roll 2d6 on that attack roll. See if I can get some shift. Oh, good. Yes, I can actually shift that. So let's get an extra damage die in there. See if I can maybe. Nope. Still can't get through your armor.
Oh.
Keep digging. You haven't found any flesh yet.
He just says that as like things are hanging off.
I've got metal intestine for days.
Back to the top.
Well, the immediate threat is out of the way, so I can... I could probably put down at least 3 of them. Maybe even 4.
Yeah,
there are 4 left, and I could probably do it.
Do you have a grenade?
Oh, wait. No, I just have my plasma gun. Difficulty becomes 4 if I hit 2 of them, 6 if I try to go for 3.
You only make the 1 attack roll, so if you make it all in the 1 roll, then you hit all 3 of them.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you know what? I think taking on all 4 of them ties into my objective. Take a personal risk with no regard to possible consequences, including your own life.
I think you'd have to get closer for that.
I'm in range. My plasma gun has a range of 48 meters.
Plasma gun, yeah, you're well in range.
Yeah.
And again, not wanting to help out someone
it is supercharged.
But I mean, and certainly I think killing one of your squad mates is a consequence. So you are firing into a melee at which Voss is at the center.
Yep. Oh god.
Please.
I'm very tempted to just do it anyway.
Do it. Do
hey,
it.
Listen.
I'm going to do it.
All right.
Something stupid. Okay, ballistic skill.
That's what this is.
I've got no wrath on this. Okay.
Ooh.
1,
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Oh, so close.
Do
you have glory?
We have
one.
We have 1 point of glory.
That 1 glory.
I'm going to do it. Come on, big buddy. Yeah!
Woo!
That's what I like to see. So that puts me at 7 out of 6. So I can shift 1 into extra damage. One of my successes.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I don't think you can, because you need all your 6s.
Mm-hmm.
Because you got 1, 2,
Okay.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Ah, yep, that makes sense. And yeah, I needed 8.
Yeah.
Alright, standard plasma gun damage. Hey!
17 damage.
That's
Roll
two.
it for each of them.
Right, I have to roll for each of them. Fire 2.
15.
No bonus. Fire 3. No bonus. Fire 4.
A little squishy though.
Also a 6.
And at AP3 for all of them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Not that it really matters. Are they wearing armor?
They're not wearing any armor.
What does salvo do in this system?
You can expend one of your
it's-
reloads to reduce the bonus difficulty. Oh yeah,
I totally could have done that.
could have done that. Oh well.
I saw it, but I couldn't find it again when I went looking for it.
Every weapon salve, like when you take a multi attack with a ranged weapon that has a salvo rating, you can spend one of your reloads, which characters have a certain number of reloads every session. You can spend one of your reloads to reduce the difficulty of the multi shot by the salvo rating.
Okay, cool.
But that's enough. Veneficus, as you're standing here being attacked by four poxwalkers, just tearing into your metal hide, as you're laughing at their ineffectual attempts, you suddenly see something that would be much more effective at getting through you, as this coruscating wave of plasma, supercharged plasma, just scorches towards you. And you close your eyes for a second against this, like the supernova light of the plasma gun. And when the light clears and you open your eyes again, there is just 4 piles of ash surrounding you.
And at that,
Puts up his hands and is like, Omniscia, take the wheel.
and at that point, Lokan lowers his now incredibly smoking plasma gun, takes a step forward and says, "Next time, don't encourage them."
Beneficus looks around and looks over and says, I would have another rejoinder, but your shooting was entirely sufficient. And will turn away and look at the open hatch.
He looks like he had not managed to toss anything into the water. You suspect that if he had had more time, he would have tossed one of the poxwalkers into the water to
gross.
infect it.
Okay.
But as you have killed Koenig and prevented him from infecting the waters of Enoch, Enoch remains secure. The remaining Abacus syndrome patients will die and transform into poxwalkers, meaning when you return to the hospital, there will be another fight on your hands as the hospital guard are forced to do battle to prevent the infection from spreading. But with this victory over the forces of the ruinous powers, that is where we will end for the week. Say goodbye, everybody.
Woo! Goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye.